The story would begin at the end of the Tournament of Power. All the warriors, including the deities of the 12 universe, would see Goku as a potential threat, since his thirst for more power was endangering these 12 universes. On this occasion, Gohan and Goten would train since they longed to be as powerful as their father. Hey Whis, this is bad. If Son Goku becomes more powerful and his children resume training, they'll do something stupid and endanger the 12 universes. I like Mr. Goku, but you are correct. If you continue with that behavior, no matter where you go, you'll cause destruction. In that case, we gotta have an emergency meeting. We gotta do something against Son Goku and his family. I have to back all the other gods so as not to face the fury of Zeno-sama. In that case, let's inform the gods. Whis was able to communicate with the angels of the 12 universes. In a matter of minutes, all the gods arrived to the planet of Beerus. Beerus, I hope you have something important to tell us to arrange an emergency meeting. I stopped doing important business. I agree with Kyla. If you're able to organize an emergency meeting, you better tell us what's endangering these 12 universes. You're correct. I have to inform you that there is someone endangering these 12 universes, and if we don't do something, everything is going to be destroyed or eliminated by the great Zeno-sama. You better talk once and for all. Leave the mystery for another time. We better seal Son Goku or eliminate him. His power is growing incomprehensibly to even the gods like us. And not enough with that, his children have an amazing potential. They've resumed their training. That means that we have to have a few years. These three will be able to overcome the power of a guardian angel. That's why you organized this meeting, or am I wrong? As wise as ever, Amush. That's why we've been always characterized you, but you're right. Even though that we win this Tournament of Power thanks to Son Goku, I don't want him to put us in a situation. Yeah, but Beerus, you want to be able to seal Son Goku. He has the power of the Ultra Instinct, and his kids have the potential to have that too. That'll be more complex. We don't have the access to the Ultra Instinct. He's correct. None of us can get that Ultra Instinct, and they possess the power beyond the gods. I doubt that we'll be able to face the 12 gods together. We gotta do it. It's time. Right now, we'll be leaving for planet Earth. On Earth, Goku was focused on training. He would access the imperfect Ultra Instinct and be able to face Broly. Despite having unlimited power, it was not able to be controlled. He was not able to defeat Goku. Vegeta, on the ground, injured, remembering the words of Beerus. Vegeta, if it's hard, you gotta accept it. Son Goku's a threat to Universe 7. You gotta protect your family. No matter how we see it, even though you're saying don't commit stupid things that put the well-being of your family at risk. Damn it, Beerus is right. Although it's hard for me to accept, we gotta banish him off of Earth. Otherwise, a powerful enemy could see Kakarot and not do anything. Goku would continue training against Broly, would get angrier, and Goku didn't plan to end the battle so quickly because he wanted his body to get used to the charge of the Ultra Instinct. But the expulsion of Broly's power, the whole planet of Earth was affected, and Gohan and Goten in this place would be in the whole battle taking place. Wow, I'm not able to feel the divine energy. I didn't know who was fighting, but Dad's able to defeat that warrior.
Wow, when I grow up, I want to be like my dad. He can be the most powerful Saiyan in the 12 universes. I want him to be proud of me. I know I can do it.
Of course, if they leak, it's not time for you to worry about that yet, since you've got to finish school, since our mother would get mad at you. At that moment, a tremor would be over the place. Goku charging his energy in his hands with the intention of leaving Broly out of combat. The attack being a few centimeters from Broly, the Dragon Balls would teleport him to the planet, being raised since he was a simple baby. Well, apparently he was able to teleport with the help of the Dragon Balls. He's not a bad guy. I hope I can face him again. Goku would approach Vegeta, helping him. However, Vegeta would refuse his help by getting to his feet on his own. Goku was able to say anything. Goku's body would move on his own, as an attack would head towards Goku's heart that would be deadly. Who's attacking treacherously? You better show yourself. A large smoke screen was able to observe the 12 gods of destruction. It'd have been better for you if you hadn't dodged that attack, because at this moment, we'll have to seal you for eternity. You won't be able to die. If you do, Zeno-sama would notice your heart stopping. What's this happening? What type of training? I don't like it. It's the essence that's completely evil. And that attack thrown at me was capable of ending my life if I didn't dodge it. This is not training. We plan to end your life. We can't allow this mortal to have the power beyond the god of destruction. You together with your kids have the seal of all existence. The god Kyla moved quickly and prostrated himself behind Goten and Gohan, leaving them on the verge of death and out of combat. Despite having great potential, they couldn't release 100% of their power, and their hair would turn to a pink color while the evil essence was released around him. I swear I won't let you lay your hands on my kids. I'm not interested in dying. You have to come to me. Goku with great anger would pounce against Beerus, who would stop his blow, but the bone of his arm was destroyed and a big scream would be heard. Goku with a big kick sent him flying and generating an explosion would pounce against Beerus. The gods exchanged millions of blows. Goku seemed to have lost the Ultra Instinct and could absorb the energy of the Ultra Instinct. Goku was able to dodge these blows, and the few that were granted to him would create incredible damage throughout his body. Two gods of a combined blow were able to send him to the surface of the planet, destroying everything. Goku would spit out some blood and see Vegeta. Vegeta, help me! I'm sure if we join forces, we could face them. I'm sorry, Kakarot. This is the best thing that'll happen between you and your kids, to die. I'm sure that if we leave them alive, we'll seek revenge, and it's not personal. As long as you continue to live on Earth, you will be in constant danger. Vegeta would turn around, leaving the place, while a few tears would fall to the ground. Goku's power would increase in an unreal way, so much so that the entire Universe 7 would rumble due to the excess energy. This is amazing. I didn't think that Mr. Goku's power would rise above these levels of betrayal, but apparently every living being is able to release its maximum potential when it's about to die. Goku is no exception. I swear I'll kill each and every one of you! Goku would throw himself against the gods, his bones beginning to be destroyed by the excess energy. The gods noticed this, and with a much higher power would throw energy attacks as well as lethal blows on Goku's entire body. Gohan would wake up his body injured because this had cost him too much to stand up, and at the moment of achieving it, he would have all this blood spread from his body. The power of the gods is overwhelming! He was able to generate incredible damage with a single blow. I can't let my father die just watching him come to an end. Gohan would stand up with anger begin to run through his body, was able to watch his father be completely destroyed. Gohan, at the moment of a great scream, would get the attention of the gods, and his power was able to release through the Universe 7. We should definitely seal them as soon as possible. We can't allow them to get more powerful. I won't let my father die! If they end his life, they'll end mine too! Those treacherous gods, especially Beerus! We gave our lives for that tournament, and you pay us this way! That stupid tournament was created by the ignorance of your father, and for that very reason we want to end his life. And because as long as he lives, all 12 universes will be in danger. It's better to join us, and we promise to leave you alive. I'm not such a scumbag to betray my own blood! Gohan, with an incredible roar, would drive the gods away from Goku, while the others would stand by his side. Father, it's impossible to defeat them right now. We gotta flee and become more powerful and take revenge on them. That'll be impossible, since I've been able to realize that Universe 7's sealed, so we can't escape from here. The gods, without waiting for them to come up with a plan, would rush them, and a great battle would start. The angels, with the help of their staffs, would create a great dimension. The only way out was to overcome the power of the 12 angels together, which was impossible for a mortal. The seal is complete, and a matter of 3 warriors to aim to them, although of course we will not enter in a good way. It'd be better to leave them out, since it is the most feasible way.
But one of them's not able to do anything, so we could start with him, as he will be less of a hindrance.
One of the angels got Goten, who was out of combat, throwing him out of the dimension. This would be noticed by Goku and Gohan, who would get angry and try to increase their powers. Their bodies collapsed since their bodies would reach their limit. Both Saiyans would fall to the ground, returning to their base, as their internal system was destroyed. I can't believe this is the end of me! I wasn't able to do anything! I swear, I better end their lives. If it's gonna make us alive, I swear I'll return to search for this revenge, and we will finish with their divine energy and the existence of the 12 universes. I'd like to see that. It's impossible. The power of these two is incredible, but you won't be able to overcome the 12 angels, and getting out of that place will be impossible for you. I am sorry, Mr. Goku. I know that you are endangering the 12 universes. That's why we've resorted to this. Beerus would carry a small attack in the palm of his hands and watching them. I hope you'll be able to reflect on all that you've caused by the simple thirst of getting more power. Beerus would throw a little attack, sending them to that dimension. Son Goku's power turned out to be shady, but they weren't able to face all the gods together. It's this time to retire. No matter what happens in that dimension, nothing and no one will be able to get them out of that place. All the gods would go to their universes. Goku with his 2 children would be sealed in a dimension created by 12 angels. Goku, along with his 2 children, have been sealed in the dimension created by the angels. On the way out of that dimension was to overcome the power of the angels, and in the outside world, each god had gone to their respective universes. Returning to the Prince of the Saiyans, Vegeta would arrive at Bulma's house, and the warriors would be present. However, Beerus, along with Whis, would appear in the middle of all. We are here, and we have very important news to give you. I thought that they'd left our planet. It's better for me. Please explain to them that it was everything that happened with Kakarot and his kids.
Has something happened to my Goku, my little kids? Mr. Beerus, what happened to them? Was it a new enemy?
I'll say it quickly. It's not easy to say, but we sealed Goku with his 2 children before they turned against me. They must have something in mind. All the enemies that attack planet Earth have been because of Son Goku. The proof is obvious. Mr. Goku always longs to be more powerful. He doesn't take into account the repercussions of what happens on planet Earth and the divine energy to all the 12 universes. From the arrival of the Saiyans at the Tournament of Power, everything's been Son Goku's fault. He's not interested in others. He wants to be more powerful, and that way his kids were heading. For the other reason, we've been told what I've been told to do to them.
On the other hand, Mr. Beerus is right. I can't believe my children were sealed. They were innocent. They shouldn't have done that to him.
They were not as innocent as you thought. Gohan's power was able to be compared to the similar that of the gods, and it would be very complex to do something to them in the case that they reveal themselves. I just hope they understand us.
Now that I start to remember, the children, because of Goku, were always attacking us, but despite this, Goku would defend us. I think they went too far. They're right, things have happened because of them. He always solves them.
Problems that could be avoided. Son Goku was able to evolve because of Vegeta. He thinks that the well-being of his family, unlike Goku, who only seeks to become much stronger, nor does he help work with his wife.
I totally agree with that. He only wanted to, when he left, to train with Mr. Whis, and it hurts me to say that they just sealed my children. It's better that 3 people die than the 12 universes and millions of innocent lives die. I agree with you all, because Goku died on all these occasions, and he doesn't know what it means that I wish I had enough power to beat him up myself. I'm sorry, but it was something that I always had kept.
Well. Kakarot's supposed friends were nothing more than imposters by his side, only for protection that they could grant him. Unlike me, who used it to be more powerful.
In that case, everyone's been informed, we leave.
But before we leave, Vegeta, you want to come with us? We're planning to grant you the training of a god of destruction, since you have the skill and physiology to control the energy of destruction.
Vegeta was surprised by these words.
With the power of a god of destruction, I'll be able to surpass Kakarot. That power I always saw was unattainable.
This would go through his mind. Vegeta's expression would be more serious and step in front of Beerus.
Of course I'll go with you. I plan to be more capable and powerful than that useless Kakarot, and I plan to become more powerful than the 12 universe gods only below the angels. Those words I like to hear. In that case, let's go to Planet Vegeta. You'll start training to God Candidate of Destruction.
Wow, Vegeta would be the god of destruction of the universe. This deserves a party. And by the way, we want to celebrate Goku not being the cause of our problems anymore.
In the dimension, Goku was standing up, while his whole body was expelling blood, since his body was beyond the limits that he caused, and it was greater than the Tournament of Power. At this time, the blows of his enemies had damaged his interior a lot.
My body hurts. Really, the blows of these miserable people have been able to destroy everything. I can't let this happen.
Goku, with his effort, would stand, realize that Gohan was injured but not in death. Therefore, he was able to get his hand out of Goten, who was out of combat. Goku watched his 200 children and blood came out of their bodies. Negative power began to rise, and power of Kakarot lay dormant in Goku's unconsciousness that awakened. Goku in his head was able to hear Kakarot's voice. Son Goku, after several years I wake up. I'm the ruthless part of the Saiyans. I'm the Saiyan who arrived on Earth, but that blow sealed your consciousness and your brain. It's time to reform to a single being.
What? Are you the warrior they call Kakarot? How's that possible we exist? It's crazy. I'm freaking out about the gods of the gods.
I know it seems strange. If you and I unite, our powers will grow never seen before. We'll become one being, and it's like it's always been, and the potential will be incredible.
I definitely don't know what's happening, but if it causes me to do more power, I'll sweep the floor with those wretches, especially Vegeta. That wretch turned his back on me. I won't forgive him.
That's what I want to hear. So, let's break these chains. Free me from this imprisonment. Goku would approach his subconscious towards some large chains, and being able to have some energy flow, Kakarot destroyed them, approaching where Goku was. You and me, I am you. You and I should never have been separated. This moment we'll return to a single being and be the Saiyan of death. Both consciousness formed into a being. Although Goku's appearance hadn't changed, a great scream and several rays rose around him. A pink aura was rising from his body. This time, thanks to the power of his counterpart, Goku could transform while he was in a more serious and calculating look.
By being able to reform, we've been able to eliminate our weak points. Since we don't have any openings, our body is able to master this transformation, and I'll call it Ultra Instinct Full Power. Despite the fact that on this occasion Goku had access to this transformation, he wasn't able to master it. He would instantly spit out blood, and falling to the ground, Goku would smile. Ha ha ha! This pain only make me stronger. All the pain I feel will multiply millions of times more. My kids and I will get out of this place.
Goku turned to his kids, and with a slight bump of their stomachs, he was able to get them to react. Goten was woken up completely confused.
What happened, Dad? Where are we? I feel pressure going through your body.
Goku would return to his base state, putting his hands on Son Goku's body, healing all his wounds.
My son, the gods and our so-called family have betrayed us. Their explanation's been that we're a threat to the 12 universes and sealed us. We'll get out of here, though.
Goten would say nothing, and after a few tears rolled down his cheeks, not understanding why his mother would accept something like this.
Please, Dad, train me to become more powerful. I don't want those people to make fun of me like we were trash they could throw away.
Of course, son, but let me heal your brother, since it was his 12 gods of the universe that was barely badly injured. I have to make sure that the energy flow is in him. Goku would go to Gohan and would put his hand on his chest. Gohan, despite waking up, his energy was low, and Goku would transmit his power through Gohan's body, making him stand up.
My head hurts too much. What happened, Dad? Were we betrayed by these friends?
So it seems, Gohan, but at this moment we'll train so that those bastards will be able to consider us a threat. I want them to be prepared.
I don't care what I have to do. I promise to finish them and go back to my dear daughter and wife. They must be waiting for me.
We only know that when we leave this place, our so-called friends have something to do with our betrayal.
No, Father. Please don't say that. I can't believe my wife had anything to do with that. We have to become more powerful.
I want you to take care of your training of Goten. Since I'm not able to master my power, that could cause him harm.
I understand, Father. I'll see to Goten breaking his limits, so you don't got anything to worry about.
I'll leave it in your hands. Please, try your best. And everything we want to do, we have to get revenge on them. The warriors left the different parts of the dimension. Goku would prostrate himself on the ground meditating, and with everything around him trembling, would master his energy, costing him more, since this time his heart was not pure as before, and in this, control of his divine energy was more complex. So that's why the warriors always fight weren't able to master their internal energy. I thought it was just the superstition of these miserable people. It really is more complex. Goku, without caring that his bones were compromised, would continue with his great training. In return to the planet Beerus, the deities with Vegeta arrived, and Vegeta would start his great training. On this occasion, you will master the energy of a god, and you will achieve it. Mr. Beerus will be able to give you a little energy, with which you can master completely, and access a new state. I understand. It seems easy. Let's start with you. Beerus, with a small smile, would generate a small sphere of destructive energy. I hope you're prepared. Although it seems simple, the energy of a god is much more complicated. Don't let your guard down. Beerus would throw an energy sphere and would enter Vegeta's body, starting to generate damage to his internal system, and too much blood was spreading all over the planet of Beerus. Mr. Beerus, it seems rash to grant the God of Destruction candidate training, since this small sphere of energy I throw at him is able to destroy 60% of his organs. No, Whis, I'm sure Vegeta can bear it. We just have to be giving him a little more time. Vegeta, while he felt his whole body was about to explode, would concentrate, meditating. Large amounts of blood released his whole body. Vegeta would stay calm, assimilating the energy of Beerus, and his body would stop receiving damage. See, Whis, I told you. His destructive energy is not easy to control for a mortal, but Vegeta is able to master the energy of a god. Well, I didn't expect this. This energy would cause Vegeta to cause him the end of his own existence. For Vegeta, because of the most powerful god of destruction, he must have rigorous training, and he'll have to see death up close. Both deities were interrupted by a great noise, and on this occasion the Oracle Fish would cause great news. Mr. Beerus, do you know the premonition of the same god I told you about a few years ago? Of course I remember her, and not as powerful as I expected since she wasn't able to give me 25% of my power. Well, that's the problem. I don't know what happened, but my premonition was accurate. I was able to see the 12 universes, including the gods and angels, eradicated by the god Ozaru. The look on Beerus's face would be of great terror, who would, with this being, remember the premonition he had of the Super Saiyan God. A great rumble would be felt over the planet, and instantly Beerus would release destructive energy because he was afraid of the warrior who it could be. Mr. Beerus, calm down. As I've told you, the premonitions are 90% correct, but there is also 10% error. We all know that, Oracle Fish. Mr. Beerus is afraid he knows Son Goku will never stay still in the dimension we've sent him. But why are they able to send Goku to that dimension? Thanks to him, Universe 7 won the victory in the Tournament of Power. I understand, but you must realize that Son Goku never met Zeno-sama, so although he didn't want to accept it, this has partially been his fault. Oh, so you have some reason. I disagree because no matter how many problems Son Goku causes, I was always looking for a way to solve them. But, well, they are not matters of concern for me, since you are the deities of this universe. The Oracle Fish would proceed to leave, and Beerus had stopped releasing that great power. Vegeta, surprised, wasn't able to do anything. The destructive energy in his body didn't allow him to move, and was able to observe everything that happened. Hell, I doubt Kakarot can get out, since it's been created by the power of the angels. I gotta become more powerful. Vegeta would try to make his head go blank. It was impossible since each defeat he had with Kakarot passed through his mind. And in the dimension, Goku would continue meditating, despite that the room was created by angels and had very special characteristics. Stronger they become, the gravity increased. And they noticed by Goku because the three of them trained, and the pressure that fell on Goku's body would end the life of his kids. Goten didn't even have variables of Super Saiyan. Gohan had power which would rival the divine energy, but was still not enough. I gotta master my energy completely if I'm not interested with every one of my bones being destroyed, but I swear I'll make it. Goku would meditate. Something no one in that place had noticed was that time would pass differently. Since they were training, no matter how many years they spent outside, they'd never grow old, in which the same way 1 day outside was 2 years inside. But none of the warriors had noticed this. On the other end of the dimension, Gohan released a little of his power in his mystical state, and he began to train Goten, who he could master higher levels of pressure in his body. I know this isn't a big deal for you, Goten, since you all are the Saiyan like me, but you gotta start little by little. I want to make sure that my beast mode pressure, that I'll break your bones if I don't have a good foundation. Of course, brother. Help me become your powerful. I can't believe one of our friends has betrayed us. I want revenge. Damn, Goten, already seeks thirst for revenge. It's obvious since even our mother betrayed us. I want to get out of here. Gohan would instantly release more pressure and began to exchange several blows. With each blow, Goten was injured. because the pressure of Gohan wasn't able to bring to his knees, compromised his speed a little, and was crucial in battle.
Enough! I want you to meditate. I want to help awaken the power of Super Saiyan 2, and we need to walk a traditional path.
Gohan would put his hand on Goten's head. Gohan, with his great power, was able to get Goten an illusion. Goku and Gohan were defeated by the gods if Goten wasn't able to do anything. Gohan would notice Goten's power rise.
Apparently he's been able to work. Now it's just a little bit more to be able to access Super Saiyan 2.
A golden aura of energy would rise over the place. Goten's power was able to grow greatly.
I swear I'll end the lives of those good-for-nothings. My father and brother gave their lives. Miserable gods, I'll eradicate them.
Goten would instantly fall out of combat because Super Saiyan 2 was too much on him. Gohan would carry his brother, getting him to rest somewhere away from where Gohan would start training.
I've been able to access Super Saiyan B state, but my bones and internal organs were compromised. My body was heavy and I wasn't able to move. I felt like everything was destroyed.
Gohan was instantly begin to meditate, and rays were scattered over the place of the dimension. Goku would open his eyes and notice the place had been 6 months, and their bodies were in the perception of time of the outside world. And the three warriors would only feel like a few hours passed, but their bodies and abilities had been training for about 6 months, and Goku was able to master 92% of his internal energy, and thanks to this, Goku was able to access the perfect Ultra Instinct, which took over the place of a great aura would rise, and among the silver glitter, Goku could observe an imposing look.
I was able to master my internal energy to 92%, and I'm sure I can achieve it. Although currently I want to increase my power, and I want to know which transformation is the most useful to me on the battlefield.
Goku and Ultra Instinct would concentrate, making Kakarot materialize, and a shadow moved a little from him. The large smoke would form, being identical to Goku being observed. This time, he had red hair.
I want you to fight me. I know this transformation is more favorable. The Ultra Instinct mastered this transformation I call Full Power Ultra Instinct. I feel that both have very different characteristics and can adapt to different styles of combat. That'd be better. Okay, but if you ask me for advice, you shouldn't call for Full Ultra Instinct, because Ultra Instinct could be something like this.
Kakarot would clench his fists with power, his hair would turn white, and despite it, his muscles would grow, and his body, reacting on its own, would not be able to dodge them because the change of speed for power.
This would be the full power of Ultra Instinct. If my enemy overshadows me in power, I don't want to go to the afterlife alone. So I detonate an explosion. It's for combat, but it's a terrible idea. I personally recommend you call it the Super Saiyan of Revenge. Ha! It doesn't matter what we name it. We have to figure out which is the best transformation on the battlefield. That's why I've asked you to materialize so you can help me fight against me.
Ha! It'd be a pleasure, because even though I've been sealed in your subconscious for years, the Saiyan blood runs through my body.
Heh, I don't doubt that you could stand up to me, since I'm the warrior who's able to overcome the power of the gods.
But don't you forget that you are me and I am you. For that reason, we're able to overcome the power of the gods. For that reason, I was able to achieve it.
In that case, I want to check what you're saying, because apparently you have a big mouth, but you can't move from the place. You afraid?
Kakarot, irritated by his counterpart, pounced on Goku, but the transformation Kakarot possessed Goku didn't know, and he also had the Ultra Instinct. Goku would dodge Kakarot's blow, a knee to the stomach a little, and would amaze him for a few brief moments. He was able to overcome his reaction speed of the Ultra Instinct, and they took a little distance.
Well, I don't have to trust myself after all, since I can tell that you're a rare transformation that you possess the Ultra Instinct.
Huh. You didn't think that it was a lie that I could do it too? After all, we're the same person, a being that never should have separated.
I agree. You don't have the battle experience I have, and that's a weak point. You don't have to feel no matter how hard you try.
You forget that I was a Saiyan who was supposed to conquer Earth. The experience of hundreds of generations runs through my veins. But since you have such a high ego, I'll show you how you possess the Ultra Instinct. You lose. Goku would feel how his body would shudder, and the whole area of Kakarot changed. The essence of a god of death would be perceived, and Goku, without able to react, a blow was able to send him flying. And Goku wasn't able to see it, and the damage created madness. Since Goku wasn't able to stand up, large amounts of blood were released.
What? How could you hit me? I wasn't able to see anything. My body wasn't able to react. How were you able to do it? That wasn't a normal blow.
Ha! You have so much ego that the great power you back up, since no enemy could reveal to you how much you could break your defense. Goku would stand more seriously and throw himself against him. In seconds, the level of his opponent moved away incredibly, because Kakarot didn't move in the slightest. He didn't dodge any of his punches, and the punches received weren't able to make him move, and would act annoyed by Goku even more.
Damn it! Don't underestimate me! Take this! Destructive blow!
Goku would use a great power in his fist, and the beastly blow on Kakarot's face would cause an explosion. While Goku's smiling, among the smoke the explosion would reveal red eyes, and Goku would feel the real terror. But before he could react, Goku would hold him with incredible brutality on the neck, being able to sink him into the ground, and Goku, with all his physical strength, wasn't able to do anything against him. Since the whole battle was going on, Gohan would continue meditating, and of several Semas, Gohan was able to get Beast Mode at will.
I've finally been able to manage access to Beast Mode. It's like Goten, I also need a trigger to achieve it. I've got to master it.
Gohan would instantly access his Beast Mode, but the power he released on this occasion was 3 times more than when he faced the gods, and Gohan hadn't noticed such an increase in power. Gohan in his Beast Mode would simulate training battles with each gods, while Goten would train Super Saiyan 2.
I know that I haven't been able to master Super Saiyan 2 and even Super Saiyan 3. When I'm able to achieve it, I'll finally be able to access the Divine Essence. Get ready!
Kakarot was able to humiliate Goku because this time, even though Goku stood up, his punches couldn't do anything.
Ha! I've warned you. Apparently the Ultra Instinct is not a transformation that fighting powerful enemies, and it gives great reflexes. It's limited in the transformation, and more speed and power, your reflexes decrease a little. What? How do you know that? Were you able to analyze my battle formation since the Gods of Destruction?
I have, and fought the whole battle in Ultra Instinct. I'm sure at this dead moment, this power of the Ultra Instinct's limited, and your transformation stayed short. The Ultra Instinct in your base state, and in the same way, you can access other variants at will to have great increase.
I've been able to understand it, so I want to face you with Super Saiyan God Rose. I want to check what distance separates me from that rare transformation.
Heh, alright, let me heal your wounds.
No, don't worry, I've got something I wanted to check.
Goku would instantly rise his base state and would close his eyes concentrating, accessing Super Saiyan God, which all his wounds and energy were able to be restored.
Super Saiyan God has a regeneration, but his power is lower.
It's inferior. You're not able to master the transformation even 20% of the reason I was able to beat you, since I am using Super Saiyan God.
What? But it's different from Super Saiyan God that I have. Why is that?
I've been able to bring the power to Super Saiyan God 100%. For that reason, your blows can't do anything to me, and the regeneration's autonomous makes me recover instantly.
Wow, you've got a lot of secrets. I want to check to see what I can do against Super Saiyan God Rose. This time I don't plan to underestimate you.
Goku would instantly increase his power, the dimension shaking as the power Goku released was madness. The entire dimension would crack and would give a red color, because this time Kakarot's power as well as Goku's were forming a single being, or Goku was absorbing Kakarot's power, including his essence. Hey Goku, the power of the Super Saiyan God is incredible, but I gotta confess, there's power beyond the Super Saiyan God, and it's known as the Super Saiyan Beast, or even the Super Saiyan Chaos.
Wow, I've never heard of a transformation like that. It seems interesting, but how do I know this is all that you've lied to me? I don't understand.
I gotta confess, I don't know how I know this knowledge, but only the requirement that the same warrior be consciousness of 2, and only one of them has to absorb the other consciousness to obtain the power of a priest, since it's said that that power is similar to omnipotence.
No, I'm not gonna let you absorb me! If you want to finish me, it won't be easy. Since I have to be more powerful, you can try, but it'll be useless.
Ha! If you have this opportunity given to me a few years ago, I'd definitely taken it. But believe me, at this moment, you've been able to win me. For that reason, I want you to absorb me, because if you don't, I'll disappear anyway. So I want my life to actually be useful.
You'll disappear? How? You and I are one being. You can't disappear unless I die. I don't plan to, so explain yourself.
A few weeks ago, I planned to realize that we remained separate for the majority of your life. We weren't able to unite our essence 100%, but my soul's cracked. When I don't have enough capacity to retain it, my soul, essence, and power will vanish like it never existed. No, damn! It can't be happening. You better not say something stupid, otherwise, like you told me before, I was a fool to have you fight. This is my fault. Damn it, I'm really sorry. Ha! For that damn reason, I don't want you to know, but don't worry, because for me, it'll be a pleasure to crush those gods with this power. Damn, I swear that I'll finish with those bastards who betrayed us. If none of this happened, you'd still be in the corner of my consciousness. You have nothing to regret, because in this short time, you've been the best thing for me. The best Saiyan with the most fun of fights. You can't imagine the helplessness when I wasn't able to do anything in your body. Goku would continue to absorb the power of his counterpart, with the intention of destroying the entire angel dimension completely. Gohan managed to master the beast state and it wasn't able to deplete any of his energy. Goten had achieved Super Saiyan Blue, leaving Gohan surprised by the progress of his brother. Wow, Goten, you amaze me. You've been able to get all these things for Super Saiyan and could hold the divine energy. I'm proud of you. Thanks, brother, but it's not enough. I need more power to get rid of these bastards who call themselves the gods of destruction. Goten, definitely your essence has changed. I don't judge you, even though you have a pure heart, but you want to end these miserable lives. Thank you, brother, for not judging me, but we got to continue our training. I'm sure we'll be able to get out soon. In the outside world, on the planet of Beerus, he was next to Whis walking over to his planet. His expression was of tension because the news of the Oracle Fish, his temperament drastically changed, even starting to be a little paranoid. Mr. Beerus, it would be better to calm down because in this case he isn't able to control his emotions. This will be worse. Son Goku and his children are wanting to destroy our barrier. Keep calm. Join the other gods. It's the only way to end Son Goku's life once and for all. You're right. Even I'm the most powerful god of the 12 universes. There's nothing to have. I gotta concentrate. That damn mortal must not generate these emotions in me. Beerus would close his eyes and stabilize his emotions. Over the planet, though, an incredible power would make him rumble, even destroying the celestial bodies around him. All this would be caused by the Prince of the Saiyans releasing the power of a god of destruction while his aura rose over the place. Well, this is amazing. I didn't think Mr. Vegeta could access the status of a god of destruction in only 3 weeks. Definitely these Saiyans are full of surprises. Apparently the energy of the destruction I've been able to grant you has been able to achieve this state beyond the god of destruction. Vegeta, how do you like that power? Are you satisfied or not with it? Thanks, Mr. Beerus, for granting me the training of a god of destruction, since there would be no other power like this if it hadn't been for you. I'm glad you're thankful. Unlike that damn Goku, you know your priorities in this universe. I hope you become more powerful. In this case, at some point, Goku's able to get out of here. Mr. Beerus, I've listened to your conversation with Whis, but with the respect you deserve, I doubt Kakarot can leave, since he's reinforced by divine energy of the 12 angels. For a mortal to try, it's impossible. Nothing he could do will be useful. Of course, I understand your viewpoint, but what Mr. Beerus is worried about is that the Oracle Fish informs him of the catastrophe of a Super Saiyan God. Although, of course, they are not always correct, the fact that Son Goku is in another dimension, we know he'll try to become more powerful to destroy it. I promise I'll give everything of myself to keep that damn insect not be able to generate destruction in my universe. Whis, keep training me. I'm sure that Kakarot's still alive. He'll be training. I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta. The persistence of him is something to admire. Don't worry, though. I'll plan to train you, and this will be something that'll make you more powerful. Whis, I'll also join the training, because if I have a great training partner with similar power to mine, then that means we'll grow our power, and that'll make Vegeta more powerful, so he's at my level. Mr. Beerus, the respect you deserve, I'm sure at your level right now, with all due respect, I think I'm capable of beating you at 100% of my power. Because being a Saiyan of my power never stops growing. Ha! Vegeta, for what I'm realizing, you do have guts. But that's impossible for you to beat me. I've trained for millions of years. It doesn't matter if you're a prodigy. Training time is unmatched. I agree with Mr. Beerus, though I would love to see your limit, since Beerus-sama, being the most powerful god of the 12 universes, has millions of years, he doesn't use 100% of his power, and this training will be able to analyze his weak points. Fine by me. Since I've always wanted to face Beerus in a one-on-one battle, I promise to use every last drop of my energy. That's fine with me, because if you're not able to use all your power, I'll end your life in one fell swoop, so get ready. Beerus would get in a battle pose while starting to let his energy flow through his body. Vegeta would likewise get in a battle pose, starting to increase his power in the Ultra Ego. I'm ready. Just hope you're ready, Beerus. Don't have to tell me that. I'll defeat you without realizing your defeat. Both warriors rushed each other, exchanging thousands of blows over the battlefield. They even possessed the energy of destruction, and when Vegeta approached Beerus' aura, his body began to be affected. Beerus' energy was more powerful and destructive, and Vegeta at a great speed would take distance. In front of him, Beerus would connect a blow, making him fall, destroying everything around him, while Beerus would descend. Well, you're still immortal after all. Since you don't require the power to stand up, I gotta confess I use 45% of my power. That's something immortals should be proud of. A great purple aura would be released over the place, and a bigger power would fall down, since this time Vegeta would start to take his body to the limit, and the intention wasn't to clown against Beerus. Training in the dimension though, Goku was able to assimilate all the power of Kakarot, and he would access Super Saiyan God of Chaos, which would turn his body silver and his musculature increase. The power of Goku on this occasion would be seen by his children, who would stop their training, since a great pressure would fall on them.
Wow, this is the power of our father. I feel like the whole body's destroyed. I can't believe that this power is able to end these miserable gods. I gotta confess, the power of Dad. I agree with you, Goten. No god will be able to do something against us.
Goku would continue to increase his power, and for a few brief moments on a red color, due to increased power was running through it, he would scream, accompanied by a few roars and explosions over the place, leaving his children surprised, who were able to take a long distance, but because they were closer, they'd be completely crushed. An explosion generated would be seen by Goku in a transformation that made him look imposing, while his whole body was giving off an incredible pressure. So this is the Super Saiyan of Chaos. Gohan, Goten, we gotta leave. We'll only stay for a few months to master our transformations, so put effort into these last months.
Of course, Father, but the power you have is madness. My legs are shaking in front of you. If my legs tremble, then I can withstand the pressure. If I am succeeding, the pressure of the gods will be nothing, because Dad's more powerful. Don't worry, I'm here to protect you. I promise that this time we'll finish those bastards who turn their back on us.
Son Goku's family would start training with the intention of leaving once and for all. Returning to the battle of Beerus and Vegeta, the winner was clear that it was Beerus, since through the battle he'd been able to keep Vegeta at bay, while his destructive energy was able to overshadow Vegeta's. You have great potential, but the mistake that the Saiyans always make is to rush long before they've mastered their power. For that simple reason, you've lost, since you don't manage to master 30% of the energy of a god of destruction. Vegeta would stand, his body expelling blood, which would make him fall to the ground out of combat. With a little more training, Vegeta's power could increase greatly, but we gotta not trust ourselves. I'm sure the Oracle Fish premonition will come true, and we have to end Son Goku's life once and for all. We're not sure about that, Mr. Beerus. Although Mr. Goku has a great potential, I doubt that very much he'll be able to destroy that dimension. Since it is formed with the energy of a guardian angel, it is practically impossible for a mortal. I hope you're right, Whis, because in the case Goku's able to escape from that dimension, it'll be the most destructive battle that the gods and angels have. In any case, it'd be better to organize a meeting with the gods and angels to keep us alert. In that same way, their gods are subject to rigorous training. You're right, Whis. Please communicate with the gods to hold a meeting on my planet in about 2 hours. Whis would begin to communicate with all the guardian angels. In returning to the dimension, few months have passed, and inside that time room, very differently, Goten would manage the perfect Ultra Instinct, and Gohan would take his limit to the Beast God, obtaining a power that would rival the angels of the gods of destruction.
A little more to get me out of here. I'm sure that we can do it if we try harder. I have to be able to master the Ultra Instinct completely, and with my training, we'll come to an end. Goku remained static. That's right, Goku was trying to control his energy drain of the Super Saiyan God of Chaos.
With this power, I'll crush the gods and angels. I want to end those bastards once and for all. Instantly, the dimension they were in turned red, and it was destroyed entirely because Goku on this occasion released a lot of his power. And his power was so incredible it would destroy that dimension without any difficulty. Outside, an overwhelming pressure would be felt by the 12 universes. Even being able to feel up the realm of Zeno-sama, living beings were affected by that great pressure. Since this time, hundreds of beings were seen dying. A much more powerful pressure would fall on the beings of divine energy, since it was for whom the pressure of Goku was directed. Meanwhile, from a large energy portal, it could be seen how 3 warriors were emanating great power. Well, so after long we've been able to return to Earth. But my children, go check out to see what you're afraid of. I'll go wait for you. Gohan and Goten went to their base state, heading at a great speed towards their home. Chi-Chi would be surprised to see her children.
How's it possible you're here? You guys were supposed to be sealed by Mr. Beerus and Whis. That's gotta be a mistake. What's going on? I told you, brother. Even Mom colluded with everything with those damn gods have done to us. It'd be better to end the scum once and for all.
Chi-Chi would be surprised by her son's words, but without time to react, Goten would grant her a strong kick, taking her life.
It'd be better if we go check if your wife hasn't conspired against you too. But I hope you're ready for the worst, brother, since we can't trust her either.
Gohan would be surprised by her brother's temper. Inside, he knew everything was telling him it was the right thing. So both brothers would leave Gohan's wife's house, but when they arrived at his wife's house, he wasn't able to find her or his daughter.
What the hell? Where the hell are they supposed to be? I don't want to think the worst.
On Beerus' planet, the deities with Vegeta had great pressure, and with maximum speed, Whis would head towards the planet Earth. And in the same way, they communicated with other gods and angels. I don't know who the enemy is, but if it's Kakarot, I gotta be able to defeat him. I'm the Prince of the Saiyans, I can't lose. Goku would notice the energy of the deities of the Universe 7 were beginning to approach him, so he would stand up with a slight smile while he was in the imperfect Ultra Instinct, which he'd chosen as his new base state. Gohan and Goten weren't able to locate his daughter and wife, and because of this, Gohan would begin to concentrate, trying to communicate telepathically with his wife, being able to receive a very weak signal since his vital signs were about to disappear.
Gohan, it's you! I always knew you'd be able to get out of that dimension and take revenge for everything they've done to you. Please, end them. I wasn't able to protect our daughter.
Gohan's anger would rise incredibly, accessing Super Saiyan God Beast, flying to a great speed where his wife was, and being able to arrive a few moments towards Bulma's house.
You better die, because if we set you free, I'm sure you'll do something crazy with the intention of those miserable people capable of returning to this reality.
Gohan will be able to finish all of you. He'll be able to pay for the ending of the life of my dear daughter. She was not able to blame for anything. You are miserable.
We know that the little girl wasn't to blame, but we had to end the traces of the blood of those miserable people, because in the future she could also be a threat. I hope that you know how to excuse me. This isn't personal, but we can't allow a new warrior with miserable Goku's tainted blood to appear again. I'm sorry.
Videl was on the surge of death. However, before Krillin was able to end Videl's life, an incredible aura would rise up over the place. Gohan was where everyone was, and with a smoke screen didn't show anything. Gohan, with a quick movement, was able to hold Krillin by the neck, strangling him with anger.
You damn good for nothing! My father always gave his life for you so you couldn't die so many times. But since you're nothing but an insect, you won't be able to survive on your own. Believe me, it won't make me the proudest to end your life.
Krillin wasn't able to do anything because Gohan's power was incredible compared to him, who was just a simple human.
But I don't want to end your life this way.
Gohan would release Krillin. Krillin, despite being amazed by his appearance, would come up with a plan.
I don't know how to escape from this damn place, but they are weakened. I have to be able to finish this wretch since he's been entrusted.
All these thoughts would go through his mind, where he'd begin to plan, starting to beg for mercy so that Gohan would let his guard down. Krillin would release his whole body, being able to levitate, without him being able to control it.
I never said I'd end your miserable life, so I hope you're ready, you worm. I want to see some excellent fireworks again.
Krillin would start screaming because of the pain Gohan was using in his levitation technique. It was much more bloodthirsty than the technique that Frieza used against Krillin.
Now, explode and become part of the nothingness of this universe, you damn good-for-nothing!
Krillin's body would explode into hundreds of pieces, leaving no trace of existence, and it would happen while the smokescreen continued. Since it dissipated, Bulma would realize this place where Videl was not, getting a little upset.
What are you supposed to be doing, Krillin? I didn't tell you to let Videl go. You just had to end his life, or do I have to do everything?
But with a big gust of wind, all the dust disappeared, and Bulma could see Gohan as she fell to the ground due to the impression.
But you're Gohan. How's it possible you're here? You're supposed to be locked in a dimension the gods created for you. So even you knew those bastards who've done this to us, and apparently you also agreed. I understand. It only remains for me to end your life. Don't say something stupid. They wouldn't be able to end my life. I'm your father's best friend, and even though we betrayed them, he'll still be able to forgive us.
Before Bulma can continue talking, Gohan with a huge energy beam went through her body with multiple parts falling to the ground.
You're very wrong, of course. Right now I'm gonna end your pathetic existence, the same way you guys tried to end us.
Bulma's face would change to that of incredible terror. The deities would arrive in front of where Goku was though, and he didn't look surprised, thanks to the premonitions the Oracle Fish had for the Saiyans. So apparently you've been able to get out of that dimension after millions of years. You surprised me. How were you able to forget last time we were able to beat you? What do you think it would be different this time? At the moment, the other gods and angels arrived on the battlefield, being surrounded by Goku, leaving him in the center.
You're right. Last time you were defeating me, but I ask you something. Who else can break their limits since the last time we met? I'll answer you myself. None of you can raise their power, and I'll show you.
If a flash, Goku would manage to connect a single blow to the gods, angels, and Vegeta, being able to make them fall, while in the center, Goku in that place was with a speed that was so monstrous, the angels were having a difficult time with the Ultra Instinct not seeing his movement.
That's what I mean, that no one here can overcome their limits except me, and this time I'll take it upon myself to end their lives once and for all.
Damn, how the hell could he hit us? I wasn't able to see anything, but I won't let him humiliate me. I'll end his existence myself. Vegeta would stand up, releasing all his power, because the whole Universe 7 would shake, being able to feel his energy of Gohan and Goten, who would quickly go to where Vegeta's power was released. Gohan would leave the place, and he would leave where his wife was in a safe place.
I promise I'll come back for you with the Dragon Balls, and we'll revive our daughter. I'm sorry for not being able to come back sooner. Don't worry, Gohan. I really appreciate that you came to save me.
Gohan, together with Goten, quickly left, while Bulma was disintegrated by Gohan, and for his part on the battlefield, Vegeta in his max power would pounce against Goku. These gods and angels would realize the difference in the powers were abysmal. I can't comprehend the power of Mr. Goku that he was able to achieve. Even his power can overshadow us completely. I agree with you, brother, but we can't allow a mere mortal to get away with it. If he's able to humiliate us, I'm sure he can seek revenge for everything we've done for him.
In that case, if the Saiyan is able to surpass us, we must be able to merge, so that the miserable mortal will know his pathetic place.
This conversation of the angels would be interrupted, realizing that each and every one of the gods rushed Goku in the same way, because Vegeta's power couldn't do anything. Goku, despite being at a numerical disadvantage, was able to make them look like children. And at that moment, an incredible power of Gohan and Goten would be released over the battlefield, being able to retrain the gods by 80% due to the pressure that the brothers radiated was on another level. Goku was staring at each and every one of the gods.
So you tried to attack me, and even though we weren't matched numerically, it'd be us 3 against you 12. And since Vegeta's garbage doesn't count, his power's lower than that of an ant.
Vegeta was pissed about what Goku said and pounced on him, but would be stopped by Beerus. Calm down, Vegeta. That damn Goku's trying to get you out of your mind. He's not able to face all of us equally.
Beerus, it's a pity, but I am afraid to inform you that you're wrong, since I haven't even used 2 new transformations that I've been able to achieve, but because of that stupid comment, I'll use the Perfect Ultra Instinct.
Goku would access Perfect Ultra Instinct, leaving everyone surprised by the power created by Goku's body. Definitely, we angels have to face Son Goku. His power is able to overcome the gods of destruction. Instantly, Goku's family would pounce on the gods. Despite being at a disadvantage, Goku and his sons humiliated their enemies. The gods, despite using techniques, they couldn't do anything to the mortals that were in front of them. And the gods, one after another, would fall. They were alive since their blows were not that of the intention to end their lives, but at a certain point, Goku would release more power, being able to freeze everything around him with his pressure. Gods, you'll have to ask yourself why you weren't able to end our lives, and the answer's simple. I just want to make you suffer, and I want to make you feel agonizing pain and make you beg for your lives. The tension in the place was evident, and the 12 guardian angels would enter the battlefield. I, the most powerful angel, accept that we don't have the power to face Son Goku. But what do you think of this? At that moment, 12 angels, gods, and even Vegeta were beginning to be attracted by a large pentagram that was formed throughout Universe 7. And all the warriors in the pentagram formed a single being. This in order to finish Son Goku and his children once and for all. This powerful warrior would form. Goku would smile. So they plan to form a single warrior by finishing me. It's a pity that they're not going to work, since their power's pathetic. No matter how many scumbags join, they'll still be scumbags. Father, this could be dangerous. We gotta stop them, because if they form one being, their powers will multiply greatly. No, Gohan, don't worry, because even if you guys haven't seen all the power I've been able to get, no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to do anything against us, so trust me. Okay, Father. Because of that, we'll always trust you, and I'm sure that we'll have the power to stand up. It's time to show you the power of the Super Saiyan Supreme God, the power that goes beyond the Guardian Angels. Get ready. Goku at this moment would make a great power, leaving his children surprised. This power that Goku released was crazy, because the power condensed in all his energy veins was incomparable. Even the new warrior had formed, it felt like his body was shaking, and Goku continued to increase his power, so much so that this time, the silhouette of the face of the Great Ozaru would be seen through Universe 7. The transition of Goku would leave the fusion of everyone present surprised. Despite the merging and the most powerful warrior of everything existing, he was not more wrong since the power Goku released was incredible power. This power would break the barriers known before. Despite being in Universe 7, Goku could shake the 12 universes, destroying planets and stars. Zeno-sama's palace was no exception. This incredible pressure would fall on the planet. Daishinkan releasing his power would neutralize the great pressure that was destroying the palace of Zeno.
Daishinkan, what's going on? I can feel the release of power at the top. Has the new enemy forced you to use your power?
Zeno-sama with his guardians were surprised to realize, thanks to Daishinkan, an aberrant power would not destroy the palace.
Guards, reinforce Daishinkan. Apparently, he won't be able to stand for long.
Both guardians of their maximum speed were placed next to Daishinkan, expelling their power, making Daishinkan's barrier able to withstand the power being released by Universe 7. On the battlefield in Universe 7, a rumble would be seen with a great explosion, and after a few minutes, Goku could be seen transformed, never seen before by the divine beings of energy. Since this time, Goku, without holding back, would access Super Saiyan 10, known as the Chaos Saiyan.
You're not worthy to observe all my power. I want to show you the power that no matter how much you can achieve, you traitors are good for nothings. You'll be able to overcome this divine limit.
The fusion became Azael. Trembling with the aura of Goku, his aura reflected the hatred and death represented by the gods and beings of divine energy.
I'm not interested in the name of whoever the hell you are. I just know that you worms merged to be one being. I hope you're ready to fight. Otherwise, I'm going to use you as my punching bag.
Damn worm, don't underestimate me. I've trained for millions of years. You're immortal. Who couldn't do anything being avoided locking up. Even your wife betrayed you. You don't deserve it. A great flash would be seen over Earth, while after a great distance, a planet would be destroyed. Azael had been hit with an overwhelming power, making the planet completely destroyed.
I hope that this is not 100% of the power of the fusion of all the deities in Universe 12, because if so, I've been disappointed, you good-for-nothing bugs.
Too much blood would fall on the rock in which Azael would try to manage to fall, and the planet exploded. Azael, trying to stay on his feet, would, no matter with his efforts, couldn't stop shaking. No, damn. This can't happen to me. I'm a perfect warrior. I'm the union of all the divine energy beings. A mortal like Goku should be able to do something against me. I'll eradicate him. Azael would release more power, and his body could withstand. And because this would sacrifice speed than power, Goku would watch him intently. Goku, with several rays released, Azael would rush towards him. Well, apparently this anger couldn't allow him to use this situation. He's an idiot. With inept speed, he couldn't do anything against me. Despite sacrificing speed in exchange for power, with that power he could make me bleed. I'll show him. Goku would not move from the place. Azael would connect a sneaky punch on his face. Exploding in this place, while everything around him destroyed, Azael would laugh like a maniac. Ha 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 ha! That's what you get, you thinking confident. I released all my power. I've left you paralyzed. With a single blow, I'll end your life, and your children are still. Don't worry, I'll send you all to hell once and for all. Azael would approach Gohan and Goten, and he'd be confused, noticing Gohan's face would have a smile. You better not sing victory. Look behind you. You understand. Azael, at the moment of turning his head, would be surprised, and in that explosion it was possible to see Goku not receiving a single scratch from the most powerful blow of Azael. Was that your best shot? I hope you're kidding. If that's your best shot, you won't be able to even make me bleed. Azael would not move. That blow he used to cover all his power, and in Zeno-sama's palace, Daishoken would recover his power thanks to Zeno-sama. My lord, we must go to Universe 7. Something bad's happening, and that power released is capable of destroying everything.
I agree. We must do something against that power. If this is an enemy, for me it'd be difficult to defeat him.
That's right. We can't jump to conclusions, so we have to leave right now. The most powerful deities of Universe 12 would leave for Universe 7, in which all that power would be released. In the dimensional change for Daishoken, they'd arrive in a few seconds, surprised, analyzing the power that was released, and the subject lying on the ground very badly injured with serious wounds. Daishoken would analyze and would realize this was a fusion of the energy of divine beings. What's happened that these divine energy would merge into one? Surprises me that even the most, despite all the power that he has, they couldn't eliminate this abomination? Who is this guy?
This is bad. We can't let this happen. Otherwise, they could finish us off.
Zeno-sama would raise his hands with the intent of eliminating Son Goku, but this performing technique would do nothing. His aura would be released over the place, destroying everything around him. Well, despite you calling me my best friend, you tried to end my life. I didn't know that I had to trust beings of divine energy, since they're traitors. I've never thought about you, Zeno-sama. What? I can recognize that voice. Is that Son Goku? The most powerful Saiyan of the 12 universes? Even though you are considered a prodigy, it's unreal that you've achieved all that power in a short time.
Short period of time? I've heard you said that well, and you can't even imagine how many thousands of years I was sealed by these miserable beings who could seal me together with my children. I want you to intervene. I won't hesitate to end your life. Goku, I don't know if it was you, but that transformation changes your appearance. It's not like the Ultra Instinct as your hair turns a silver color. You gotta understand, we can't allow you to end the lives of divine energy beings.
Exactly. We agree giving them a lesson, but we can't allow the balance of the 12 universes to be broken. All the gods and angels die and the pillars of the universes won't exist.
If that's what you're worried about, there's nothing to worry about. My children and I are committed to being pillars of the 12 universes. The three of us will be the authorities in the balance of each universe.
Gohan and Goten would side with Goku, with a divine essence that could leave Daishoken and Zeno surprised. Their power was beyond an angel, even comparing themselves to Daishoken's.
We agree with our father. I also want to speak for my brother. We're willing to become the pillars of the 12 universes. Goku, I asked you to stop. I didn't know it was you, and for that reason I tried to eliminate you. I understand that you gotta be upset with the gods and angels, but I can't allow you to end their lives. If you continue destroying these divine energies, you won't leave me any alternative but to end you.
Mr. Goku, with Zeno-sama, I ask you most cordially to leave the warrior who's behind you. because if he refuses, even Zeno-sama and I will be forced to intervene in this battle. And though he's achieved great power, he won't be able to do anything against us.
Ha! Don't talk nonsense. I don't know the real reason why these protests against these miserable worms. I won't let you interfere in my revenge, because these bastards have been able to do something that has no forgiveness. Goku, without letting Daishoken and Zeno react, would move at a high speed towards Azael, being able to disintegrate him with a sphere of energy. And that energy was more destructive than the energy of destruction of the gods, because they would not be able to return to life even with the help of the Super Dragon Balls, since their souls were eliminated. At the precise instant, in the same way, a great power would be released by all the 12 universes. On this occasion, Daishoken would release all his power, and because that threat in front of him was of another level. While he had great power generated, a great explosion would be seen. Gohan and Goten quickly moved, and because this explosion was generated and was capable of causing great damage, while for Goku it was nothing.
We've warned you, mortal. I'm not interested in being friends with Zeno-sama. I have the authorization to end your life. I won't forgive you for ending my children. I swear you'll pay me.
Daishoken, I want you to end Son Goku and his children. We can't allow him to ignore our orders, but at home, you will not be able to end his life. Give me 5 minutes. I will accede to my combat form.
Don't worry, Lord. Even though Goku's power is amazing, I doubt he could do anything against a gifted angel like me.
Daishoken would end his sentence with a big fist in his face, which would collide him to a planet, destroying the base completely, and fire and lava rose from the atmosphere. Well, that's the power of the most powerful guardian angel in all the universes. It's a pity that you can't do anything. In my training, I even planned to interfere with you.
Daishoken had tried to stand up, blood was releasing from his body, and he couldn't stand firm, because on this occasion, no matter how great his efforts were, he couldn't do anything. No, damn! How could he cause this great damage to me with a single blow? So that's why Zeno-sama is accessing his combat form. I didn't think this guy would increase his combat levels so much. Gohan and Goten would instantly unleash all their power, intending to attack Daishoken and Zeno-sama. However, they'd be stopped by their father.
No, my children! I don't want you to get your hands dirty with these worms. It's not worth it. I'll take care of these miserable ones so you can enjoy the combat. There's no problem.
Daishoken would try to stand and his gaze would be blurry, with blood pouring from his body. Damn it, this worm's making fun of us. Zeno-sama accesses all his power. I'm sure we'll sweep the floor with you, Goku.
From your terrified expression, I can tell you'll die. But don't worry, I'll wait for that dwarf to achieve his combat form so that they both fight against me.
Goku would lie on a rock waiting for Zeno-sama to access his combat form, max power, while Daishoken in these few minutes would try to recover completely. After a few moments, a great light would be seen, just like the combat form of the great Zeno-sama would make an appearance.
Even though you're my best friend, I can't allow you to go against us, so this place will be the place of your death.
2 flashes rushed against Goku. Daishoken would rush with Zeno-sama as a team, with the intention of ending Goku's life. Goku and Super Saiyan 10 would dodge their blows, and the blows that were able to reach him didn't do the slightest damage. Goku would release a great pressure of gravity, leaving them completely immobilized.
I thought that calling yourself the most powerful beings in the 12 universes, you'd have more power, but you turned out to be some worms, so you die.
Goku with a quadruple attack would finish them off, and Goku would return to his base state.
It's over. We can't allow the imbalance to form in the 12 universes, so from now on I'll be the new king of everything. I want you to maintain balance in all the 12 universes. Of course, Father, as you order.
It's extremely powerful warriors show up and endanger the existence, they'll be allowed to end their lives completely. No problem. So the family of Goku would be the new divine family of the 12 universes. It was a normal day in the life of the inhabitants of planet Earth. People were eating in restaurants, walking with their families. There were children playing when suddenly a giant lightning bolt was seen in the sky that caused a strong movement throughout the Earth's surface. Buildings collapsed. People could not stand up. Windows exploded. All this resulted in car accidents and injuries. At the moment, a child was going to be pierced by a giant glass that fell from a building. Very close by, we see how a being that we cannot distinguish who it is flies through the skies at great speed, rescuing people who were in danger due to the strong movement. At the precise moment when the child was about to die, that being rescues him, seeing how a huge piece of glass explodes against the ground. We see how this hooded being stands up from behind, revealing that it was none other than Goku, who had been hidden for a long time because Daishinkan and the angels wanted to see him dead. Goku, with a different appearance than the one we all know, after rescuing the boy, is amazed by the energy that emerges from the earth to the sky. We can see how Vegeta arrives at the place where Goku is together with the Z Warriors, who were still saving people from the disaster. Vegeta looks at Goku face to face and says, "Kakarot, insect, where have you been all this time?" At that moment, Gohan and Goten arrive and tell him,
Dad, where have you been?
"What happened to you, father?" All this happened while Piccolo, Krillin, Trunks, and Android 18 were rescuing the people affected by the movement. After having finished saving them, they arrive to where they are reunited with Goku and look at him very surprised. In a head-to-toe scan, we can see Goku's face very emaciated, with wounds and pronounced cheekbones because he had not tasted any kind of food for a long time. At that moment, we go back in time about 20 years ago. We see how Goku and his son Goten are walking together in the forest. Goku, talking to his son, says,
Hey Goten, are you ready to fish today? To which Goten replies, Yes, Dad. Will you show me the fastest way to catch them?
Goku, happy for his son's enthusiasm, replies,
Of course, Goten, but this time I'm going to try something different. Watch this.
Goku dives into the water and after a short time comes out with a big jump with a huge fish moving on his hands. Goten, very surprised, says to his father,
Wow, Dad, how did you do that?
Goku, showing a very happy expression, says,
When I was little like you, Goten, I had to find my own food in order to live. You should try to give it a try.
Goten, very excited, says to his father,
I'll try.
And so Goten dives into the water to the joyful sight of his father, to which, on the first attempt, Goten fails to catch any fish. Seeing Goten's sad face, Goku encourages his son, saying,
Don't worry, Goten. It's a matter of practice and patience. The key is to be quick and not scare the fish.
So Goten dives in again, but this time it takes a long time to come out. When suddenly Goku feels a very powerful key very close to where he was. Because of this, Goku worried about his son's dives in search of him. Once in the water, he sees Goten fainted and next to him a very strange artifact. Goku, worried about the state in which he found his son, swims to rescue him. At the moment, he was about to lift his son in his arms, ready to go to the surface, the strange artifact begins to emit a very sharp sound that only Goku hears. Wu, with a face of confusion and pain, tries to lift his son, but suddenly the artifact comes off the ground and permeates his chest. Once on his chest, the artifact stops emitting that strange sound and Goku stops feeling the ki of a moment ago. Goku does not take importance to what had happened to him and worried about his son. He lifts him up to get him out of the water. Once outside, Goku puts his son on the ground to revive him, but suddenly an unknown being appeared to him. This being had a greenish coat, blue hair with black tips, and it was a very strange appearance. But it did not seem to be something real. It looked like an illusion. Goku, upon realizing this being, became alert and put his son in good protection. After that, addressing the being, he asks him, "Who are you? What do you want here?" This being, without uttering a word, rushes at high speed towards Goku, who in an act of reflex manages to dodge the first blow. But the speed of the stranger exceeds him by far. Because of that, after dodging the first blow, the unknown being lunges with a kick to the head, which Goku barely manages to block, leaving his stomach exposed, where he takes the opportunity to impact a direct punch, automatically leaving Goku out of air, and thus returns to lunge with a blow to the nape of the neck. Goku, when he was about to lose consciousness, hears a voice in the distance that says, "Apparently this is my best guest that could touch me," saying this in a sarcastic way. "I hope my colleagues are in good condition." After hearing these words, Goku faints. A few minutes after the fleeting confrontation, Goku regains consciousness and realizing that the unknown being was no longer in the place, he looks for Goten, and when he finds him, he begins to unexpectedly and repeatedly call his name to make him react. Seeing that calling him had no effect, he feels his breathing and notices that he was almost not breathing. He creates an energy sphere in his hand and places it on Goten's chest. Once Goten revives the energy from his father, he reacts and spurts water from his mouth. Goten, with a puzzled expression, asks his father what had happened, to which Goku says, "I have the same question for you. What happened?" Goten tells him that at the precise moment he was about to capture the fish, he felt attracted to the artifact, which also tried to impregnate in his chest. At the time, Goten felt a strong source of energy that ran through every part of his body, which was very difficult to control, and felt how that strange energy weakened him until he lost consciousness and fainted. Goku had his thoughts, and that he also felt the same strange and very powerful energy running through his body, and worried about his son, asked him if he still felt that energy inside him. Goku calmly and a little puzzled told him no, that he only felt that when the artifact was trying to permeate him. While this was happening on Earth, Whis and Beerus went to the Kingdom of Everything to talk to Daishaken, since they had noticed him very tense and worried. Once they were already in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishaken appears with a very serious expression, while Whis and Beerus bow to him to show respect. Daishaken, relieved to see that Whis and Beerus were with him, tells them something very strange and dangerous is about to happen. Whis, with a puzzled expression, asks, "What is it, father? We'd noticed a certain tension in the air as we reached the realm of the whole." Beerus, yawning without realizing the seriousness of the fright, says to him, "Trouble again? What could be so dangerous to make Daishaken so worried?" "Serious? And worried, the High Priest?" To which Daishaken replies, "Yes, I'm afraid so. A powerful entity has resurfaced, once we have not faced in a long time." Whis, with a very serious expression, says to him, "An unknown entity? Could it be one of the beings we left sealed away long ago?" "It is possible, Whis. Its energies are as dark as they are disconcerting. I cannot identify the source with certainty, but its power is overwhelming." Beerus, frowning, says, "Why should I worry about it? If it's that strong, I'll go and destroy it." Daishaken, with a very serious expression, explains, "It's not that simple, Lord Beerus. This entity seems to have the ability to change even the most ancient gods. We cannot underestimate it." Whis thoughtfully asks his father, "How do you suggest we deal with this situation, father?" "We need to gather information before we act rashly. Whis, Beerus, I trust you with the task of investigating. Find out all you can about this entity and any weaknesses he may have." Beerus, smiling confidently, exclaimed, "Good, good. A little action won't hurt." Nodding, Whis replies, "We will be on our way, Daishaken, but be aware that if this entity threatens our universe, we will not hesitate to take drastic measures." "I understand, Whis. May wisdom guide your actions, and may you return with the information we need." After that conversation, Whis and Beerus depart for the hitherto unknown destination, while Daishaken watches with concern, aware of the gravity of the situation looming in the realm of everything. As they were on their way back to Earth to ask for Goku and Vegeta's help, Whis recalls that when they were on their way to the realm of everything, he sensed a very strong and dangerous ki on planet Earth. Halfway through his quest in the universe, he stops and, confused, Beerus says to Whis, "What's wrong? Why are you stopping?" Whis, very serene, says to Beerus, "Oh, my dear Lord Beerus, it turns out on our way to the realm of everything, I detected a rather intriguing presence." Yawning, Beerus asks, "A mysterious entity? We didn't need to get any of what Daishaken told us." Whis, with a nervous smile, replies, "Don't worry, Mr. Beerus. This time it doesn't seem to be a direct threat. I just felt a fleeting flash of power, something that crossed our path." Beerus frowns at Whis. "And you didn't give it any importance? Isn't that what Daishaken was talking about?" "Well, the truth is, I didn't consider it an immediate threat. It was like a flash of power energy, but it disappeared as quickly as it came. It didn't seem to have any hostile intentions." Beerus, thinking about the situation, asks, "So what shall we do then? Does Daishaken want us to investigate something like this?" "Yes, but I think the best option is to go ahead with our main mission, to find out what the entity has surfaced. The fleeting presence may be a mere detail compared to what awaits us." So Whis and Beerus went on their way through the universe, looking for the entity Daishaken mentioned without giving so much importance to what happened on Earth. Back on Earth, the precise moment Goku rescued his son Goten, Goku, confused by what had happened to his son and the strange artifact that had impregnated in his chest, told Goten, "Let's go home immediately." As they flew on their way home, Goku tries to sense Vegeta's ki so he could teleport with him, as soon as he left his son with his mother Chi-Chi.
At that moment, we see how Vegeta was already gathered by the Z Warriors: Krillin, Android 18, Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Chaos, Gohan, Future Trunks, and Master Roshi, who were talking about the strong and dark energy they had felt. Goku and Goten arrive home, and his mother, worried because they had taken a long time to return, runs to Goten and says,
Goten, son, are you alright?
to which Goten replies,
Don't worry, Mom. We're fine.
Chi-Chi raises her head to Goku and notices that he's very serious. She lowers her gaze a little and notices the strange artifact he had on his chest. Chi-Chi asks him,
Goku, what's that you have there? Are you alright?
Goku immediately changes his expression with a fake smile reply.
Oh, don't worry. It's nothing important.
Chi-Chi in a very insistent way,
Goku, don't fool me. What happened?
This thing I have on my chest. This very strange artifact I have on my chest. Well, it's a strange artifact, but I'm fine, really. I'm going to find out what it is and we'll get on with our lives. Chi-Chi, worried about Goku, hugs him and says,
Promise me you'll come back, Goku.
To which Goku, with a smile, answers her yes. While he was about to make the teleportation, Goku says goodbye, saying to Goten,
Take care of your mother. I'll be right back.
He teleports. Moments before Goku arrived to meeting the Z Warriors, as they were at Bulma's house, they were talking about what they had felt a moment ago. Vegeta, with a very serious expression, asks, Did anyone else feel that dark energy? I can't identify it, but it's disturbing. Piccolo, frowning, replies, Yes, I felt it. It's as if it disappeared immediately as soon as we felt it. Something's not right. Gohan, very worried, says,
Dad, Goten are with my mother. We should look for them.
At that moment, Goku appears in front of them through teleportation and says very seriously,
Guys, I felt a strange presence. Something happened with Goten, but I rescued him.
Piccolo, analyzing everything that happened, notices something strange on Goku's body and asks him, Goku, what's that artifact on your chest?
That's what I want to find out.
But before that,
I need to tell you something.
To everyone's expectant and uncertain gaze, he says,
The strange energy you felt came from this artifact in my chest.
Vegeta frowns and asks, How's it possible? Does that device emit that energy? Goku, somewhat worried, nods and says,
It seems so. The moment I rescued Goten, this artifact permeated my chest, and I began to feel an incredible amount of pressure coursing through every part of my body.
Piccolo, thinking about everything Goku was telling them, asks, And how did it get in your chest?
The artifact was underwater right next to Goten, who had fainted. As soon as I was approaching it, it emitted a very sharp sound that didn't allow me to get close to Goten. Despite that, I managed to get close, and out of nowhere, it jumped in front of my chest to stay there. After everything that had happened with Goten, I tried to take it off, but when I did it again, it came back to permeate my chest. We must find out what this artifact is and why it has such a great amount of power. I'm counting on you.
Vegeta, determined, says, Let's do it. We won't let any threat catch us off guard. Future Trunks earnestly tells everyone,
I agree. Together, we'll figure out what's going on.
Goku thanks all his friends for the support they were giving him, but at that moment he changes his joyful expression to one of seriousness, as he remembered what had happened just before he lost consciousness. Gohan, noticing the sudden change in his father's expression, asks him,
Dad, what's wrong? Is there anything else you must tell us?
Vegeta adds, Insect, you're not hiding anything from us, are you? Goku remembered what had happened at that moment. With an expression of concern and anguish, he tells them about the fight he had with an unknown being, which exceeds his strength by far. And he remembers that the entity mentioned that he had colleagues that he had hoped would be alright. Piccolo, with fear but serene, says to Goku, Are you sure of what you're saying? For what you are telling us is very dangerous. If he surpasses your strength by far, in that case we wouldn't stand a chance against him. We'd be a hindrance rather than a support, Goku. Goku, after hearing that, tells him what he felt in the confrontation.
The moment the unknown being appeared, I felt the same amount and type of power, and the dark ki that ran through my body as the strange artifact permeated my chest.
As soon as Goku finished telling what had happened, as soon as he got out of the water, Piccolo came up with an idea. It wasn't that far-fetched, but he could explain what the strange artifact was and why he was facing the unknown being. Piccolo, observing the artifact, turns to Goku saying, This looks familiar. It may be like a containment urn, like the ones we used at the Mafuba to seal powerful beings. Surprised Goku,
Really, Piccolo? Do you think this could be something like that?
Krillin, when looking at the artifact,
An artifact like this one, used with the Mafuba on Goku's chest, since when did battles become so complicated? There's always something new with you Saiyans.
Master Roshi, somewhat excited, but at the same time serious, exclaimed,
Ah, Mafuba! I remember when we sealed King Piccolo with that. Do you think Goku has such a strong enemy inside?
Future Trunks, analyzing what had happened, says,
It makes sense. The Mafuba urns are powerful devices to contain evil energies. Could this artifact have sealed something?
I don't care if it's from the Mafuba or anywhere else. I just want to know how to get rid of this thing once and for all. It's a possibility. The urns we use to keep very strong enemies under control, but why did it attach yourself to Goku?
I'm not sure, but what I do know is that this energy is linked to a very powerful entity.
Whatever it is, if it's linked to that artifact, we cannot underestimate it. So, what do you plan to do, Kakarot?
At that moment, the Kaio-sama of the North telepathically communicates with Goku to tell him that he had information about the powerful energy that they felt, and the mysterious artifact that permeated his chest. Kaio-sama tells him to get to his planet quickly.
First, we need information. Kaio-sama has information about this artifact and the being that might be inside it. We must go to Kaio-sama so we can find out what we're dealing with.
Vegeta nods and Goku continues.
Exactly, but first, I need your help. If there are any more entities like this, the Earth could be in danger. And with this connection to the artifact, I could put them at risk. Therefore, I'll only go to Kaio-sama to get the information to get rid of this artifact.
Kakarot, don't even think that you'll do this alone. I'll go with you, Insect. I can't accept that you become stronger than me.
Goku accepts and asks him to put his hand on his shoulder. Once Goku and Vegeta left, the Z Warriors sensed unknown presences on the planet, so they split into groups and flew off at high speed to go investigate. With the reevaluation that the artifact at Goku's chest might be like a containment urn, similar to those used in Mafuba, the Z Warriors faced an increasingly complex and dangerous situation. Uncertainty about what such an artifact contains and how it is connected to the mysterious dark energy fills them with worry. While Goku and Vegeta were to where Kaio-sama and the Z Warriors went to investigate the unknown presences they had detected in space, Whis and Beerus, after having traversed much of space, felt a strong amount of dark energy, so they immediately head to where it was. As they are about to reach the source of the dark energy, the pressure in the air becomes more intense as they get closer, and the unknown entity awaits their arrival.
Why do I feel like this is going to be more complicated than we thought?
Mr. Beerus, the information we gain here could be crucial to understanding the threat we face on Earth.
The unknown entity, surrounded by a dark aura, reveals itself in front of Whis and Beerus. Its presence is overwhelming and a sinister laugh echoes in space. Unknown entity mockingly welcomes them, saying,
I expected your arrival. You took longer than I expected. Do not underestimate the gods. We're here to stop any threat that endangers our universe.
Before any confrontation, can you tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Oh, that's funny. I'm known as Ryuk, disciple of the Devourer of Worlds. I have come to free the Master, the most powerful being who ever lived.
The expression on Whis' and Beerus' faces become much more serious upon hearing Raiku's name.
Raikou, that name rings a bell.
Raikou is an ancient threat, Lord Beerus. His master, he and the other disciples were sealed away a millennia ago due to his unquenchable thirst for power and destruction.
So it looks like we have a problem. This time it won't be as easy sealing him again.
The space fills with palpable tension as Ryuk, surrounded by a dark and malevolent aura, confronts Whis and Beerus. The dark energy emanating from him seems to distort the very fabric of space around him.
Problem, you say? You are correct, little god. The Master has been patiently awaiting your release, and now with my arrival, that time has finally come.
Beerus moves into combat stance with a determined expression on his face, while Whis remains composed but alert.
I have no time for games. If your master is a threat, we'll stop you here and now.
Tell us more about your master. Understanding his motivations might help us find a peaceful solution.
Ryuk chuckles mischievously, revealing his sharp fangs, then disappears in a dark flash before reappearing behind Beerus with astonishing speed.
There's nothing they can do to stop the Master's inevitable resurgence, but before that, they could entertain me.
The battle begins. Ryuk throws a swift punch towards Beerus, but the Destroyer God nimbly dodges and responds with an energy punch that Ryuk blocks easily. Meanwhile, Whis watches carefully, waiting for the right moment to intervene. Ryuk's speed is impressive, but Beerus manages to keep up. They exchange blows and energy blasts in a combat that seems to defy the laws of space itself. Ryuk's dark energy distorts reality around him, making its impact more dangerous and intense.
Oh, Beerus, your speed is amazing, but that dark energy is problematic. I suggest you be careful with your movements.
Beerus nods as he dodges an enemy attack and counterattacks with an energy wave. Ryuk, undeterred, vanishes and reappears in front of Whis, challenging him to enter the fight.
And you, assistant of the god, will you dare to face me?
Whis smiles serenely and disappears in a flash, only to reappear behind Ryuk.
I have no intention of fighting, but if that's what you wish.
Before Whis finishes his sentence, Ryuk turns around and launches a fierce attack towards him. Whis, with his extraordinary speed, dodges each blow with grace. Space convulsed with the fury of the cosmic confrontation between Whis, Beerus, and Ryuk. Each move shattered reality itself. As Ryuk's dark energy and the god's divine blast intertwined in a demonstration of opposing forces, Ryuk, his ominous figure shrouded in a dark aura, moved with breathtaking speed. His sinister left echoed through the emptiness of space, challenging the gods who faced him.
This guy's faster than I thought.
As Beerus' words fade away, Ryuk disappears in the blink of an eye and reappears in front of him with a punch charged with dark energy. Beerus manages to block the attack, but the force of impact sends shockwaves through space. Ryuk breaks away from Beerus with a smirk, and in a flash lunges towards Whis. His movements were fluid. Whis, on the other hand, moves gracefully, dodging each blow with the grace of a cosmic dancer.
This dark power is intriguing, but it is out of balance.
Ryuk, frustrated by Whis' evasive ability, concentrates his dark energy in his hands and launches it as a flare. Whis responds by creating an energy barrier, but the resulting collision sends shockwaves through space, shaking nearby stars. Beerus takes advantage of Ryuk's distraction and lunges at him with a punch charged with divine energy. Ryuk blocks the blow, but the resulting force causes an explosion that creates the ephemeral supernova in the cosmos. The fight continues with unmatched speed. Ryuk demonstrates his skill in anticipating the gods' moves, while Beerus and Whis unleash their divine power to counter the darkness that threatens to engulf them. In a moment of pause, Ryuk grins mischievously and his dark aura begins to intensify. A transformation was underway. The darkness concentrates around his body, forming a sort of dark cocoon that breaks, revealing a transformed figure. Now Ryuk has evolved. His previous form pales in comparison to the manifestation of his current power. His figure has become more imposing, with twisted shadows dancing around him as if they were extensions of his own essence. Sharp fangs glow with dark radiance, and his eyes emit a malevolent light.
Ha ha ha! This is just a glimpse of my true power.
Beerus and Whis exchange a worried glance. The pressure in the air becomes even more intense. Ryuk, now in his transformation form, launches himself towards the gods with outstanding speed. Beerus tries to counterattack with a sphere of divine energy, but Ryuk dodges each projectile with ease, moving through the bursts of light with supernatural agility. Meanwhile, Whis stands in reverse, watching the fight with analytical eyes. In a quick blink, Ryuk appears in front of Beerus and unleashes a series of vicious blows. The sonic sounds of punches and echoes kicked through space as the gods and devourer of worlds, discipled, plunge into a frenzy of combat. Beerus, struggling to keep up with Ryuk's speed, takes a direct punch to the stomach that sends him drifting into space. Before he can recover, however, Ryuk lunges at him and blasts him with a barrage of blows. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ryuk, in a ruthless act, concentrates dark energy in his hand and drives it through Beerus' abdomen. The Destroyer God lets out a roar of pain as darkness spreads from the point of impact. Whis, seeing the stark reality, springs into action. His figure flashes in space as he stands in front of Ryuk, blocking his attacks.
I cannot allow you to harm my lord in this way.
Whis' divine energy collides with Ryuk's darkness in a show of cosmic power. The battle intensifies and the fate of the universe hangs in the balance as the confrontation between light and darkness reaches its climax. The confrontation between Whis and Ryuk intensified as space became the stage for their fierce cosmic battle. The clash of divine and dark energies echoed in the void of the universe, creating ripples that stretched to the far reaches of space.
You think you can stop me, Whis?
The master of divine martial arts, Whis, maintained his serene composure as he resisted the onslaught of the Devourer of Worlds disciple. His divine aura glowed brightly, fighting against the darkness that threatened to envelop him. Whis, with a wave of his hand, unleashed a blast of divine energy that forced Ryuk back momentarily. However, the smile on the dark being's face revealed that he was far from giving up.
Ryuk, your quest for power will only lead to destruction.
Ryuk, releasing a sinister laugh, launched himself at Whis with renowned furiosity. Each exchange of blows was like a clash of titans, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, Beerus was recovering from the wounds inflicted by Ryuk, watching the battle with critical eyes. The darkness that had pierced his abdomen was beginning to dissipate thanks to divine regeneration, but the experience had left an indelible mark.
This creature's more formidable than I imagined.
And determined not to be a mere spectator, Beerus joined the battle with renowned determination. His figure flashed with divine energy that rivaled Whis's, creating a spectacle of light and shadow in space. The three powerful beings engaged in a cosmic dance, with flashes of divine and dark energy illuminating the vastness of the universe. Ryuk, without losing his smirk, took advantage of his transformation to increase his speed and strength, challenging the gods with every move. The combat reached new levels of complexity when Whis, in a flash of cunning, unleashed a divine teleportation technique. He moved at the speed of thought, appearing and disappearing at different points in space, keeping Ryuk on the defensive.
You can't dodge me forever, Whis.
As Whis and Ryuk clashed in space, Beerus focused on channeling his divine energy. The Destroyer God sank into a meditative state, concentrating on unleashing his true power. Beerus' transformation was gradual but impactful. His figure was enveloped in a golden aura, and his eyes shone with the intensity of a star. Divine power flowed through him, manifesting in a form that only the mightiest gods could attain, allowing the grievous wound left by Ryuk to be healed.
It's time to put an end to this.
The reborn Beerus lunged towards Ryuk with unparalleled speed. Each blow he delivered was imbued with overwhelming divine energy. Ryuk, though powerful, was overwhelmed by the onslaught of the Destroyer God. Meanwhile, Whis continued his cosmic ballet, defying the laws of space and time with his speed and agility. Every move was calculated, every blow strategically executed. The battle reached its climax as Beerus and Whis coordinated, combining their attacks to create a symphony of divine energy that enveloped Ryuk. The pressure in the air became almost tangible, and the cosmos itself seemed to rumble with the intensity of the conflict.
Do you have anything to say, Ryuk?
Ryuk, gravely wounded but still defiant, let out a shrill laugh. His figure writhed as the dark energy tried to resist the overwhelming pressure of the gods.
This is not the end, gods. My master will be released, and his darkness will devour all.
Beerus, showing no mercy, unleashed a sphere of concentrated divine energy and hurled it directly at Ryuk. The resulting explosion illuminated the space, dispelling the darkness that had lingered. Silence fell over the space as the gods watched the wreckage of the battle. Ryuk lay motionless, defeated, but not destroyed. His threat had been contained, at least for now.
This is not over. We need to find out more about his master and any threat that may arise.
Whis nodded, sharing the same determination. The reality of the danger that stalked the universe became more apparent, and the gods knew they had to prepare to face even greater challenges. The cosmic explosion that marked the end of the fierce battle dissipated into the vast space, leaving Whis and Beerus floating in momentary tranquility. As they regained their composure, a flash of gold announced the arrival of Daishinkan, the high priest, who appeared before them with a serene but worried expression.
I see you've dealt with the threat, dear Whis and Beerus.
Yes, Father. Ryuk has been contained, at least for now.
But this isn't the end, is it?
Daishinkan smiled wisely as he held in his hands a strange artifact, a glowing sphere that emanated an energy like the one they felt during the battle.
This is what I wanted to show you. It's known as the Sphere of Divine Containment, an ancient artifact capable of sealing beings of great power and darkness.
Beerus and Whis watched intently as Daishinkan explained the function of the sphere and how it was used to keep the most dangerous entities in the universe at bay.
This artifact has been kept in safekeeping for eons. It's only brought to light in extreme situations. The dark energy they felt came from one of these sealed entities, released by Ryuk's recklessness.
Whis and Beerus exchanged worried glances as they assimilated the information.
Who are these sealed entities? They are beings from the distant past, fallen gods and creatures whose thirst for power make them uncontrollable. This sphere of divine containment is our safeguard against their resurgence.
So, Ryuk was one of them, and his master?
His master is the Devourer of Worlds, an even more ancient and dangerous being. His release could jeopardize existence itself.
The gravity of the situation hung heavy in the air as Daishinkan continued to explain the importance of keeping the Sphere of Divine Containment safe and sealing Ryuk again.
Now that Ryuk has been contained, it's crucial that he returns to his place of safekeeping. But we also need to get information from him. We need to know more about the Devourer of Worlds' plans and any threats that may arise.
Beerus, Whis, and Daishinkan shared a determined look. The task was not complete. There is still work to be done.
If interrogating Ryuk could give us answers, we'll do so, but we must proceed with caution.
The information we gathered will be essential to prepare for future threats. Also, we need to reinforce the security of the Sphere of Divine Containment.
Daishinkan, with a nod of his head, showed his approval of the god's decision.
Very well. Let us return to the realm of all and set preparations in motion. The safety of the universe depends on us.
The three gods, with the glowing sphere in hand, teleported to the realm of all, ready to confront the shadows of the past and ensure the stability of the universe. The spheres of divine containment, now more than ever, became the beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to emerge. Meanwhile on Earth, the Z warriors, divided into groups, scattered into the sky in the direction of the unknown presences they had sensed on the planet of the northern Zeno-sama. In the air, they moved at impressive speeds, ready to face any threat that crossed their path. On Zeno-sama's planet, Goku and Vegeta appeared thanks to teleportation, Scar and Zeno-sama with serious and determined expressions. Zeno-sama, who was waiting for them, welcomed them with nervous gestures.
Goku, Vegeta, I'm glad you came so quickly. The information I have is crucial.
We need to know what this artifact is and what threat it poses.
We don't have time to waste. What do you know?
Zeno-sama nodded and led the Saiyans to his small home on the planet. Once inside, they unfolded an ancient scroll that revealed information about a mystical artifact known as the Cosmic Core of Containment. He explained that this artifact was used by the ancient gods to seal entities of great evil and power, preventing them from wreaking havoc in the universe.
This artifact is so ancient that there are hardly any records of its creation. It was thought to be lost, but apparently all this time it was hidden on planet Earth.
And how is it supposed to be sealed?
Tell us at once.
Zeno-sama explained that the Cosmic Core of Containment could be opened by a being of great power, but in doing so, the seal would be transferred to the first being it encountered. If the seal was not broken immediately, it would merge with that being, granting it power, but also binding it to the duty of keeping the evil sealed.
And how the heck did it end up in Goku's chest?
That's the puzzling thing. It seems that this artifact shows Goku as its carrier.
Goku, with an expression of astonishment, began to grasp the magnitude of the situation. He was now the bearer of an artifact containing an entity of indescribable evil.
So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?
What an honor, Kakarot! It seems you've become the guardian of evil.
But there is something else. The being sealed inside the urn is incredibly powerful. He is known as Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. It is an ancient entity that has consumed entire worlds.
The gravity of the situation was reflected on the faces of Goku and Vegeta. Not only did they have to face the mysterious artifact in Goku's chest, but also the dark entity sealed within.
Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and, at the same time,
figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
Yes, make no mistake, Kakarot. If this threatens Earth, I'll not hesitate to stop you.
Meanwhile on Earth, the Z Warriors faced unusual pressure as they prepared for combat. Each group was ready to deal with the entities they had sensed at Bulma's house, which were minions of Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. The dark energy surrounding these minions was intense, and the very air seemed to vibrate with their malevolent presence. The group of Krillin, Master Roshi, and Android 18 encountered one of Bahamut's 4 minions standing on the ground, humanoids with a black, malevolent aura. The Z Warriors prepared for the confrontation with Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, adopting combat stances. In a chaotic dance of dark energy and flickering explosions, the confrontation between the Z Warriors and Bahamut's henchmen unfolded on the cosmic stage of Earth's defense. Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, 3 warriors of varying experience and skills, faced a dark menace that threatened to plunge the planet into an abyss of destruction. The stage was permeated with a tense atmosphere as the 3 warriors assumed combat stances, ready to defend the Earth against Bahamut's henchmen, a being whose malevolent aura eclipsed even the intensity of the sun.
I don't know who you are, but we'll not allow you to harm our planet!
Krillin's words echoed in the air, charged with determination. Bahamut's henchman, a humanoid with a black, malevolent aura, advanced with ferocity, launching a dark attack. Krillin, in a display of amazing agility, dodged the attacks, moving like a gust of wind across the battlefield.
Kaizen!
In the blink of an eye, Krillin created his signature energy disc and launched it towards the henchman. Kaizen spun furiously, cutting through the air as it headed towards its target. However, the henchman displayed unmatched skill as he dodged the spinning attack, moving with an agility that defied comprehension. The henchman counterattacked with a series of dark, swift strikes, but Krillin was unwilling to give up. With precise and quick movements, he blocked most of the attacks, responding with quick and precise counterattacks. The combat dance between Krillin and the henchman painted a picture of speed and skill, where each movement could change the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Master Roshi, the aged warrior with vast experience in martial arts, watched the confrontation with a knowing smile. He adopted a firm posture, waiting for his moment to intervene.
You've chosen the wrong man to fight. I've seen more battles than you can imagine.
As Bahamut's henchmen lunged towards him, Master Roshi moved with unique grace, dodging the attacks with precise movements and counterattacking with a series of energy blasts. The old man's experience and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge for the henchman, who was forced to deploy all his skills to confront the master. On the other hand, Android 18, the android warrior with formidable strength, advanced towards the henchman with determination. Her eyes glowed with an intense blue light as she unleashed her powerful android energy. Do not underestimate the strength of androids. With a quick wave of his hands, Android 18 launched a wave of energy towards the henchman. The latter, though impressed by the ferocity of the android warrior, showed no signs of recoiling. Instead, it lunged toward her with surprising speed, throwing dark blows that Android 18 dodged with cybernetic agility. The battle between Android 18 and the minion was a display of strength and speed, the bursts of energy lighting up the sky. Both fought with an intensity that could shake the foundations of the universe. Meanwhile, Android 18, a formidable warrior created by Dr. Gero, was ready to demonstrate her immense power. She charged her energy, her body radiating a red glow, and lunged towards the henchman with determination.
Don't underestimate me. I'm stronger than you think.
The henchman responded with a sudden surge of his dark aura, unleashing a surge of energy that pushed Android 18 back. The force of the impact created a shockwave, kicking up dust and debris in its wake. The battle was intense. Every move had a purpose and every attack resonated with the Z Warriors' determination to protect their home. Explosions of energy followed one after another, lighting up the battlefield like fireworks in the dark night of space. However, the true magnitude of the threat was yet to be fully revealed. This henchman was only one of 4 sent by Bahamut, and the fate of Earth depended on the ability of the Z Warriors to pass this first test. On the horizon, the other 3 minions awaited their turn, ready to plunge into the fray and test their bravery and skills of Earth's defenders. The intensity of the battle increased with each moment, and while Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi fought against the henchmen, other groups of Z warriors faced similar challenges in different locations around the planet. The fate of the Earth hung in the delicate balance of the unfolding cosmic battle, and each warrior was determined to give everything for the survival of his home. While the first group of warriors were defending Earth on Kaio-sama's planet in the small house, it was permeated with a tense atmosphere and solemnity as Goku, Vegeta, and Kaio-sama were immersed in the gravity of the situation. The ancient scroll spread out on the table revealed the secrets of an ancient artifact, and the weight now rested on Goku's shoulders.
So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?
The responsibility rested on Goku like a heavy mantle. The cosmic core of containment, that ancestral artifact, had chosen Goku as its carrier, and within it was Bahamut, the devourer of worlds. The gravity of the situation was reflected in the eyes of the Saiyan, who was already mentally preparing himself for a colossal task ahead.
What an honor, Kakarot. Seems you've become the guardian of evil.
The irony of Vegeta's voice did not go unnoticed. While his words might have been sarcastic, the determination in his eyes indicated that, despite any jokes, they were in this together.
But there's something else. The being inside the artifact is incredibly powerful.
The information left Goku and Vegeta silent. Bahamut, the name echoed in their minds like the distant echo of a coming storm. Consuming entire worlds was a threat they could not underestimate.
Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and at the same time figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
The pact was sealed. Together, Goku and Vegeta would take on the challenge of containing Bahamut and discovering a way to free themselves from the burden they now carried. The remaining question was how they would confront the dark entity that lay in Goku's chest. But before they could formulate a plan, a vibration in the air alerted them to the arrival of others.
It seems your friends are in trouble. Go help them.
Goku and Vegeta nodded in a gesture and understanding and, with serious expressions, headed for the door. With a mighty leap, they launched themselves into the sky, ready to join the battle raging on planet Earth. At the moment that Kaio-sama gave the information to Goku and Vegeta, on Earth appeared another henchman of Bahamut who met with the duo of Tenshinhan. This henchman of Bahamut seemed to be an expert in dark martial arts. He moved with supernatural agility, challenging the Z warriors with swift and lethal movements.
Do not underestimate the strength of humans. Kikoho!
Tenshinhan launched his powerful Kikoho attack, creating an explosion of energy that enveloped Bahamut's henchmen.
This is no ordinary enemy. I must use my powers wisely.
Chaos unleashing his magic, creating illusions and distractions to confuse Bahamut's henchmen. The battle was unfolding on multiple levels, with the Z warriors fighting against this enemy who seemed to understand the combat arts in unexpected ways. At that moment, realizing that the power with which they were facing Bahamut's henchmen was not enough to stop him, thanks to Chaos's distraction, they took the opportunity to try to escape. But they did not count on the great speed of their rival who, realizing that they wanted to escape, caught up with them, disappearing from the place where he was and appearing in front of them. At the precise moment in which he was about to eliminate Chaos and Tenshinhan, two people appeared between them and their rival Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta, with their gazes fixed on Bahamut's henchmen, shared a silent understanding. The gravity of the situation was clear on their faces, but there was no room for doubt.
Tenshinhan! Chaos! Go and warn the others about this threat. We need time to deal with this.
We don't want them to get hurt because of us. Go! We'll take care of this.
Tenshinhan and Chaos nodded, recognizing the determination in the Saiyans' voices. Wasting no time, they sped away, leaving Goku and Vegeta facing their formidable opponent. Bahamut's henchman, emanating overwhelming darkness, showed no signs of backing down. His eyes glowed with malice, aware of the battle ahead. The Z warriors were prepared to face any threat, and this would be no exception.
It's clear that this won't be easy.
That's what makes it exciting. Let's do it, Kakarot.
Goku and Vegeta charged at Bahamut's henchmen with impressive speed. At the moment when both warriors were fighting a battle that could change the fate of Earth, This being, who presented himself as Bahamut's henchman, this dark entity with a humanoid shape but a bird's head, was going to be surprised by the abilities of the Saiyan warriors. In the middle of the combat, of all the show of strength between both warriors and this dark being, Takagami, with a confused face but confident that his strength was far superior to that of these earthly warriors, thought, "I'm amazed at the strength these earthly beings possess. I guess they deserve to know who'll kill them." Then at that moment he told them with a malevolent smile, he said, "I've been surprised by warriors. That's why they deserve to know my name. I'm Takagami, sacred god of darkness, follower of the supreme god Bahamut." Goku, very surprised of what he's hearing, said, "More gods? This sounds very dangerous and it's exciting."
Bug, shut up! The life of this planet's at risk, and you get excited about a being that's very powerful.
The speed of the combat accelerated as Goku and Vegeta pounced on Takagami. The energy in the air became dense, vibrating with the intensity of the impending confrontation. Takagami, with his dark aura, stood his ground, disdainfully watching the approaching Saiyans. "Do you think you have a chance against the power of darkness?" Goku and Vegeta continued their advance, wasting no time in unnecessary words. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Takagami, unleashing a gale of blows. Takagami, with surprising agility, dodged many of the attacks, but some managed to land, demonstrating the strength of the Saiyans. "Don't underestimate the power of a Saiyan!"
Come on, God of Darkness, show us what you can do.
Takagami responded to the challenge, unleashing his own fury. His speed and combat skills were amazing, deflecting the blows of Goku and Vegeta with subtle movements. The battle turned into a whirlwind of punches, kicks, and ki blasts, lighting up the sky with flashes of light and darkness.
They're just insects in front of the power of eternal darkness.
Goku in his base state and Vegeta, with their pride as the Saiyan Prince, continued to put pressure on Takagami. However, as the battle progressed, Takagami began to reveal more of his true power. His dark aura intensified and his form subtly changed, revealing a transformation that increased his power exponentially.
This can't be good.
Goku, always excited for a challenge, added, "Vegeta, get ready! This is getting interesting." Takagami's increased power created an overwhelming pressure on the battlefield. His speed increased dramatically, and his strength eclipsed that of the Saiyans. However, Goku and Vegeta were not intimidated. With determination, they raised their own power of levels, taking the battle to new heights. The fighting continued with swift attacks and explosions shaking the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, now in more advanced forms, kept up the pace, challenging Takagami at every turn. However, despite his efforts, the sacred god of darkness proved to be a formidable adversary.
This is entertaining, but your resistance is useless. The darkness consumes everything.
Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, exchanged determined glances. "Vegeta, it's time to go further!"
Huh, of course, Kakarot.
As Chaos and Ten Shinhan rushed to warn the other Z warriors, the confrontation between Goku, Vegeta, and Takagami entered a new level of intensity. The struggle for the fate of the universe was in full swing. A cosmic battle was raging on planet Earth, where darkness and light collided in a frantic dance of energy. Goku and Vegeta, the brave Saiyans, were facing Takagami, the Falcon, sacred god of darkness. The intensity of the combat resonated in the universe, and every movement threatened to tear reality itself apart. Takagami, who had increased his power, floated in the air with an imposing presence and dark aura. His eyes glowed with malice as he watched the Saiyans, who stood firm, prepared to defend their fate of the planet. In response to their enemies' increased power, Goku and Vegeta channeled their ki to the maximum, raising their power to the Super Saiyan.
Vegeta, this guy's strong, but that only means that this fight will be even better. Huh, of course, Kakarot. This is our time to shine.
The planet Earth vibrated with the energy released by the three contenders. The distant stars seemed to pale before the magnitude of the conflict. The clouds were dissipated by such a demonstration of power. Takagami, with his increased speed, lunged at Goku with a darkness-laden punch. Goku, using his elasticity and quickness, dodged gracefully, leaving a trail of flashes around him by the speed at which Takagami was lashing out with his nigh-speed punches. Vegeta, with a burst of ki, stepped between Goku and Takagami, blocking an attack that would have been devastating his fellow Saiyan. The shockwave from the collision sent debris in all directions. I expected nothing less from you, sacred god of darkness. Takagami defiantly unleashed a series of dark blasts towards Goku and Vegeta. The Saiyans responded with perfect timing, countering each attack with precise strikes and energy waves. The scene looked like a combat symphony, where every movement was choreographed with divine precision. Goku, with a twinkle in his eye, concentrated his energy on his hands. A bluish sphere of energy began to form, growing in size and luminosity. Vegeta, observing the familiar technique, smiled as he recognized the power that Goku was summoning. A colossal energy wave fired by Goku shot through the sky like lightning, hitting Takagami squarely. However, the darkness was absorbing the energy, and the Falcon emerged unscathed, laughing disdainfully. Is that all you have, Saiyan? While Goku was recovering from the effort of his attack, Vegeta launched himself at Takagami with supersonic speed. His fist slammed into the Dark God, creating a shockwave that shook the air. However, Takagami responded with a burst of energy that sent Vegeta backwards.
Ah! Damn, this guy's stronger than I thought.
Goku, recovering, joined the battle again. Both Saiyans, aware that they were facing a formidable enemy, decided that it was time to take the fight to the next level.
Vegeta, how about we show what we can really do? Of course, Kakarot. Let's do it.
Goku and Vegeta began to accumulate energy around them. The atmosphere was charged with an intensity of their ki as they unleashed their advanced forms. Goku transformed into the Super Saiyan Blue, while Vegeta assumed his evolved form, the evolved Blue Super Saiyan. Are they taking each other seriously now? Goku and Vegeta, with their new forms, advanced towards Takagami with renewed determination. The speed and strength of the Saiyans were now incomparable. The impacts resounded like cosmic thunder, creating a symphony of destruction in the sky. The battle became even more intense. Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their movements, attacked Takagami with an impressive combination of techniques and melee attacks. The Falcon, despite its power, was overwhelmed by the ferocity of the Saiyans. Final flash! The bursts of energy, one blue and one golden, converged into a titanic explosion that engulfed Takagami. Light and darkness mixed in a burst of dazzling colors. However, when the explosion dissipated, Takagami emerged once more, his form slightly battered, but his determination intact. His power is awesome, but I'm a god. The darkness cannot be defeated so easily. Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, continued the offensive. The speed of his combat reached levels that defied comprehension. Punches and kicks were exchanged in a split second, creating a glow of cosmic collisions.
Big Bang Attack! Kaioken 20 times!
The energy exploded again, shaking the sky with its fury. However, Takagami, with his divine resistance, withstood the attacks. The battle raged across the cosmos, with the warriors disappearing and reappearing in flashes of light and shadow. In the middle of the struggle, Goku and Vegeta began to feel an overwhelming pressure. Takagami's darkness seemed to expand, defying even the limits of the most powerful Saiyans. Reality itself was twisting under the influence of dark energy.
This darkness is incredibly strong. We can't back down now, Kakarot. We must get over this.
Both Saiyans raised their powers even more. The fight reached a new peak of intensity. The Saiyan was exploding like fireworks in the vastness of the night sky, lighting up the darkness with flashes of determination and defiance. Takagami, at the epicenter of the storm, smiled ominously.
Now you'll see the true power of eternal darkness.
The universe trembled as the battle reached its climax. The warriors were fighting for the fate of everything they knew, and the question that lingered in space was whether the light of the Saiyans could overcome the darkness of the sacred god. The planet Earth rumbled with the intensity of the cosmic battle. Goku and Vegeta, drenched in sweat, maintained their advanced forms as they prepared for Takagami's next assault. Darkness was emanating from his figure, but something seemed out of place. The Dark God's skin had a grayish hue, as if he had not yet completed the possession of its wearer. Takagami, with a guttural laugh, seemed to notice the perplexity in the Saiyans' expressions.
Surprise, Saiyans! I've not yet revealed all my power.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged puzzled looks. Something was not right, and both warriors felt it. At that moment, Takagami convulsed. A new form shook, as if he was fighting against something. An invisible force seemed to pull at him from within.
No, I haven't taken complete control yet.
Suddenly, a burst of dark energy enveloped Takagami, hiding him from view. The Saiyans were on guard, prepared for any surprise. Their energy in the air became denser, as if the cosmos itself was on the verge of transformation.
What's going on?
Before they could form any more questions, the dark energy dispersed, revealing Takagami's true form. However, what they saw took their breath away. At the moment of arriving at his true form, he let himself see the body he was possessing. This body was Yamcha's. Once the warriors saw that, Takagami completed his bird-headed humanoid form, but now the true form of the sacred god of destruction was clearly revealed. The falcon's head was clearly shown, with a defined musculature but a thin body, wearing blue Egyptian clothes with gold bracelets and a gold necklace. Huge wings which disappeared and appeared at their whim. Now Takagami had something going for him. He was playing against the Saiyan warriors. Not only should he defeat them, but they should also avoid harming Yamcha.
That's what Yamcha looks like!
Takagami's rumbling laughter filled the space. Now completely in possession of Yamcha's body, the Dark God was displaying a malevolent smile.
That's right, Saiyans. This weak body belongs to me now.
Vegeta gritted his teeth furiously.
Damn it! How dare you possess one of us? It's not just one Saiyan. Soon all of you will become Baumut puppets.
The reality of the situation hit Goku and Vegeta, but the force of the cosmic impact, the dark entity they were facing, was not only a dark god, but also had the power of possessing earthling warriors. Yamcha, now inside the sacred god of darkness, did not have any sign of consciousness. The god had taken control of his being completely.
Ha 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 ha! There's no escape. Baumut will be released, and this universe will fall into eternal darkness.
Goku and Vegeta shared a determined look. They knew the threat was even greater now. Not only were they fighting a dark god, they were also faced the possibility of losing their friends and allies in this fight.
Vegeta, we have to find a way to free Yamcha and stop Takagami. Of course, Kakarot. But first, we have to deal with this dark god.
The battle continued, but now the situation was more desperate. Takagami, with Yamcha's body, unleashed an unstoppable fury. The Saiyans struggled not only against eternal darkness, but also against the weight of facing one of their own companions. Explosions of energy lit up the sky, but the inner struggle of Goku and Vegeta was equally intense. Every blow, every burst of ki resonated with the promise of freeing Yamcha and saving the universe from the threat of Baumut. But Takagami wasn't going to give up so easily.
Do you think you could beat one of the World Eater's henchmen?
The dark energy intensified in the ultimate form of the sacred god of darkness. Now, the freedom to be able to use all his power launched relentless attacks. Goku and Vegeta, with their advanced forms, were fighting with all their might, but the darkness had a firm grip. The struggle dragged on. Every moment seemed like an eternity. Yamcha, although he was just a contender for Takagami, at one point during the fight showed signs of pain on his face. It was as if his very essence was fighting against the darkness that was consuming her.
Yamcha, hold on! Let's get you out of this!
But Goku's words were lost in the storm. Takagami, with a maniacal laugh, continued his assault. The Earth, witness of this cosmic conflict, trembled before the magnitude of the confrontation between light and darkness. Somewhere far away, Chaos and Ten Shinhan, after alerting the other Z warriors about the threat, returned to the battlefield. Seeing the situation, Ten Shinhan's face filled with fury as Chaos clenched his fist determinedly.
Takagami, I'll make sure you pay for this!
Both warriors joined the fight, but even with their abilities, facing a dark god who possessed one of his own would not be so easy. The battle turned into a desperate struggle to face Yamcha and stop Baumut before he was released. During the chaos, Goku and Vegeta shared a look of determination. The darkness could be powerful, but the light of the Saiyans would shine even in the darkest moments. The battle for the fate of the universe was far from over, and Earth's heroes were ready to face any challenges that stood in their way. Taking a trip to the past, one day before the strange artifact was impregnated into Goku's chest, after rescuing his son Goten, Yamcha, oblivious to the imminent danger that was coming, was exploring an ancient Egyptian pyramid during an archaeological expedition. The atmosphere was charged with mystery and the promise of amazing discoveries. Deep inside the pyramid, Yamcha stumbled upon an ancient artifact that was glowing with a dim light. It was an Egyptian bracelet decorated with intricate hieroglyphs. Fascinated by her beauty and attracted by an inexplicable force, Yamcha could not resist and placed the bracelet on his wrist. The moment the bracelet touched his skin, a strange sensation enveloped Yamcha. It was not painful or threatening, but rather captivating. An ancestral connection was established between the earthly warrior and the Egyptian artifact. What Yamcha didn't know was that this artifact contained an ancient power linked to the age of gods and legends. As the light from the bracelet merged with Yamcha, an ancient presence awoke. It was the essence of an ancient god that was lying asleep inside the artifact. However, this being was neither malevolent nor benevolent. It was simply an ancestral force seeking to join a mortal existence, or at least that was what Yamcha felt at that moment. The god, by merging with Yamcha, granted him abilities and knowledge beyond his comprehension. Yamcha felt with a strength and connection to the story itself. The fusion, although puzzling at first, resulted in a unique symbiosis between the earthly warrior and the divine entity. Yamcha didn't know what the bracelet actually was. Returning to the battle, every moment became more challenging for Goku and Vegeta and the earthly warriors. Takagami, now completely liberated, unleashed a destructive force that tested even the most powerful Saiyans. In an effort to turn the tide of the battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos joined the fight. Both warriors, aware of the threat possessed by Takagami, threw themselves into the fray bravely. His unique skills and determination added a new dynamic to the conflict, but even with his intervention, the darkness persisted.
Ten Shinhan, keep the pressure on. We cannot allow this darkness to take over our world.
Ten Shinhan nodded, concentrating his energy on coordinated attacks with Goku and Vegeta. Despite their combined efforts, Takagami remained a relentless adversary. As the battle reached its peak, Goku and Vegeta, exhausted but without losing their determination, shared a look of mutual understanding. They knew they needed an extra power to face Takagami at his finest. Instantly, an idea crossed their minds of the Saiyans' fusion.
Vegeta, I know it's not something you prefer, but I think it's our only option.
I don't like to admit it, Kakarot, but I agree with you. If we want to stop this monster, we need all the power we can get.
Both warriors assumed the necessary postures to perform the fusion dance. The energy of Goku and Vegeta intertwined in a brilliant flash, and within seconds, an entirely new warrior emerged. Gogeta in his base form, the supremely powerful fusion of the two Saiyans.
It seems the occasion requires it. Now, Takagami, get ready. So you think a ridiculous fusion will be able to stand up to my power?
Gogeta rushed towards Takagami with amazing speed. The matchup that followed was an unmatched display of skills. Gogeta dodged Takagami's attacks with grace, fighting back with overwhelming force. However, the darkness that enveloped the Dark God proved to be a formidable challenge. During the intense battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos continued to bravely fight, but the price of a confrontation was already becoming apparent. Takagami, taking advantage of the distraction, launched a devastating attack that left Ten Shinhan and Chaos seriously injured. Goku and Vegeta, seeing their companions in danger, felt a surge of rage. Gogeta redoubled his efforts, attacking with renewed ferocity. However, Takagami, aware of the situation, diverted his attention to Ten Shinhan and Chaos.
Feeling the despair, Saiyans? Soon this world will witness its end.
Goku and Vegeta, full of rage and determination, increased their speed. They knew they needed to do something before Takagami carried out his threats. The battle reached its climax when Gogeta launched a massive attack on Takagami, seeking to break his resistance. However, the darkness surrounding Takagami intensified, revealing a surprise resistance. It was then that Ten Shinhan and Chaos, still on the ground, exchanged a determined look. They knew that whatever they had to do to give Gogeta a chance to defeat Takagami.
Goku, Vegeta, you need time. I'll take care of holding this monster.
I'll come with you, Ten Shinhan. Together we'll be the barrier they need.
Goku and Vegeta, although reluctant to lose their friends, went at full speed to avoid what they had in mind.
Don't do it! Ten Shinhan, Chaos!
Ten Shinhan and Chaos stood up, ignoring the pain coursing through their bodies. With determination, they faced Takagami, resisting his attacks with all their might. Gogeta, seeing the situation, understood the magnitude of the sacrifice they were making.
We cannot disappoint this sacrifice. We have to win this.
While Tenshinhan and Chaos bravely fought Takagami, Gogeta continued his assault with the intensity intact. The battle was taking place on two fronts, with the Earth Warriors sacrificing themselves to provide the necessary opening. Goku and Vegeta, as he approached, their hearts were filled with sorrow and gratitude towards Tenshinhan and Chaos. Gogeta, with supersonic speed, approached the scene where Tenshinhan and Chaos were bravely facing Takagami. His gaze reflected the mixture of determination and regret, knowing that the sacrifices of his teammates were the key to victory.
Hold on a little longer, guys. Let's put an end to this.
The Saiyan fusion advanced towards Takagami, who, upon seeing Gogeta's arrival, stopped attacking Tenshinhan and Chaos to confront the fused warrior. The intensity of the battle reached a new level, with attacks and counterattacks echoing across the battlefield. Tenshinhan, with his remaining strength, took advantage of that distraction to hold Takagami with all his strength, preventing him from moving freely. His face showed determination and resignation at the same time.
Chaos, this is your chance. Make every second I hold this monster worth it.
Chaos, next to Tenshinhan, nodded weakly. His body showed the ravages of the battle, but his eyes were shining with all the will to do the duty.
Tenshinhan is right, Gogeta. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Remember that. Goku, Vegeta, take care of our world. This is our last act.
At that moment, Chaos accumulated an immense amount of energy to sacrifice himself. Gogeta, who was very close, were hit by the shock wave of the explosion. Gogeta, recovering from the impact, looked at the place where his companions were with solemnly.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain. I promise.
After what happened, Gogeta raised his head and with an uncontrollable anger increased his ki in such a way that he made the battlefield rumble, making the stones that were in the place fly, making Takagami retreat only with the gusts of air that expanded from his being. In a panning from head to toe, we managed to see Gogeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4, which showed the essence of Ozaru as a kind of aura in blue color, and a more controlled but much more powerful version, a transformation never seen, since they were not able to coordinate their powers to be able to reach said transformation. As Gogeta's energy transformed into a surprising and controlled version of Super Saiyan Blue Stage 4, a brilliant blue essence of Ozaru manifested around him, revealing unparalleled potency. The cosmic landscape trembled before the magnitude of this new form. Goku and Vegeta, witness of this unique transformation, were filled with amazement and determination. It was evident that Gogeta was reaching a level of power never seen before, fusing the essence of Super Saiyan Blue with Ozaru's formidable presence flawlessly. Gogeta, in his new form, turned an intense gaze towards Takagami, whose expression of confidence was overshadowed by surprise. The battle, far from having come to an end, was just beginning in this new phase. The universe was waiting for the outcome of this epic confrontation, where light and darkness collided in a cosmic dance. The promise of a new dawn loomed on the horizon, but the price of triumph was uncertain.